Let me talk to you. NXT just put on their first premium live event on the road in over 2 years. But did they prove that the WWE's future is in good hands? Plus, we have the latest news coming at you from WrestleMania, and is the Winged Eagle title coming back? His name is Hill Harry. My name is Tyson. This is the show, and it starts now.
What a week of wrestling. What a pay-per-view. Definitely.
Yeah,
I don't know why I said that. I just
well, did you enjoy it?
no, I didn't at all.
Hmm. Well,
In fact, there were plenty of times during the entire thing where I'm like, why the fuck did he make me watch this? I guess he didn't make me, but
I just suggested it.
yeah.
Sometimes you gotta. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah. I
again,
mean,
like I said, it was their first. This is their first. Co- I guess you can say it's their coming out party.
but
Because,
they've been doing these takeovers consistently. They should know how to put on a. They should still know how to do wrestling.
yes, they have, but they've been in the school library, so
Well, don't mean nothing.
it does.
It doesn't.
You got a lot more people there now. A
I'm not
big
talking.
fight,
Fuck
a
the
big
people. I'm not
arena
talking
feel.
about the people. I'm not even talking about the arena. I'm not talking about the field. I'm talking about what goes on in between those four ring posts.
Well, for me, seeing the show full of people makes it feel a lot better. It feels like I'm. If it's in the school library like they've been, it feels like I'm watching the TV show with no commercials.
Mm.
Like this gives it a pay-per-view feel. Now, was it good? That's another question, but it
Well,
feels better.
to that point, I didn't even feel like it was a. It felt like Monday Night Raw to me.
Okay, I can see that. It was about the size of, yeah, Raw or SmackDown, but to them that's a lot of people.
All right.
Shall we start? Or we're gonna start.
Well, let's
You
start
want to
at the
start?
beginning.
We'll start at Raw.
Yeah, we'll start Raw.
Yeah, we will start at Raw and then work our way back or to the present day, I guess. So Monday Night Raw. It was I wouldn't say it was a bad show, but I wouldn't say it was a good show either.
I thought it was one of the better
Um,
Raws in quite some time, actually.
well, I liked that everything had meaning. Like there wasn't just like random matches thrown together. Um, like everything had meaning. We're building towards Elimination Chamber, and we're paving our way to WrestleMania. So in a sense, everything on the card led to something of that.
There was a stake involved,
Yes,
aside from except for the main event.
there was.
No, there wasn't.
What was the main event?
It was Balor and Rhodes.
Oh, yeah, there's no stick there. But everything else, everything else did have stake. Um, Also, what was good about the show is it felt like there was a fever pitch coming off of the Royal Rumble, so the crowd was like into the show.
Right.
Like even like the down matches they were cheering for, or they were trying their best. So they were into it, which then gave the presentation of the show the feel better. So
right.
that was another thing I liked about it. Um, I guess what I didn't overall like about it, obviously, was we had this white hot finish to the Royal Rumble, and then there was no follow up on Raw. But it's a SmackDown story, so I guess there's that.
Yeah, they ended up following up on it. But yeah, Roman Reigns is predominantly on SmackDown.
Yeah, it's a SmackDown story. This this whole night was about building towards Elimination Chamber, and it was about the winners of the Royal Rumble. So
Right.
in a sense, I guess that makes sense.
Well, I didn't like the Judgment Day stuff at all. Um, I think they're trying too hard with Rhea Ripley. Like they couldn't go with like 5 seconds without mentioning her throughout the show. And it's like, okay, you won the Royal Rumble, good job.
Yeah,
Like
from the number
I
one
didn't see them
position
get.
too.
That's fine. I didn't see them getting their dicks out for Cody. You know what I mean?
Oh my God, what are you talking about? What are you talking about?
They didn't.
I had this big thing planned for this whole Cody thing, and I'm glad you brought it up. You don't want to talk about dicks out. They're running promos for him on both shows. He's still getting promos.
Well,
He's back now.
I'm talking about the commentators. You're right. They are doing promos. They did promos for Rhea though.
Yes,
Yeah,
but
you're absolutely right. They do a lot of the Cody, and they're the same promo. So it's not even like there's no variety to it. And it's getting actually kind of old. So no, you're absolutely right there.
that's
Um,
number one.
okay,
Oh, I can go.
go ahead,
I
go.
can go. I have more later, I guess, if you want to continue.
I mean, I enjoyed Cody's part. I like.
Okay.
I mean, the wrestlers are talking about how he's just been given a title shot. So I don't think that like even in storyline, it's not like he's all that great. But they are fully committing to him, obviously, with all the packages and he's about as white meat of a baby face as you can be right now.
Yeah, so they got the promos running for him on both shows. They they gave him the number 30 spot in the Royal Rumble. So there was no really there wasn't like a mountain for him to have to overcome. Like he came out last and won it. Kind of like John Cena that year. He came back from injury, came out at number 30 and won it,
Batista
and now
did
he's on
too.
to WrestleMania. Um, it's just like no resistance. It's like, oh, you're going to WrestleMania. Let's roll the carpet out so you don't have to touch the actual floor in between.
Well, keep in mind that he's only there because The Rock and Stone Cold appear to be out of the running for a WrestleMania match with Roman. So he's like the plan C. So, and he's also been out for a while, so they have a lot of, I don't know, time to make up to build him as a credible opponent for Roman.
Well, they have until what, 50 days until
62 days,
WrestleMania?
or well, 60. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's 50 something, 59, maybe 58 now.
Oh,
I don't know.
I thought you said on SmackDown 62 days. It doesn't
Oh,
matter.
I thought I got 59 on SmackDown. Anyway,
Oh, 62
um,
days on Raw. You're right.
we keep saying we'll move on, but
I
we're
know.
stuck on it.
I want to be accurate.
But yeah, so we start the show off with, of course, Cody Rhodes. This is Monday Night Raw. He comes out. Another thing I wanted to point out. Remember, and I pointed it out. He came out number 30 at the Royal Rumble.
Okay.
Pyro is shooting off
Yeah.
during the middle of the Royal Rumble.
Uh huh.
Um, And then when he wins the Royal Rumble, pyro shooting off. He come out on Monday Night Raw. What do we have? Pyro.
Yeah,
This
he's.
guy has wasted the pyro budget for the year in 3 days.
I like how he
And
has
for the
that.
match, he had pyro too.
Yes, I like how he has that old school. It looks like smoke. Looks like a
Hmm.
car wash jets, but with
Yeah,
smoke. It reminds me of WCW.
yeah, I do like that smoke touch.
I mean, I didn't expect to. Considering like for the most part, the last time we really saw Cody was during the Stardust phase. I mean, yeah, he came back and had a brief feud with Rollins, but we didn't really see a whole lot of him before he got injured. I think he got injured at what, his second match?
No, that was the. I think that was the third. Maybe it was the second match.
Okay, well, less than, let's say less than five.
Well, I'm saying with Rollins, that was the second match. He had a match on Raw too.
Okay, so like what, three, four matches in total?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, so I mean, we really didn't get to see a whole lot of him as Ric Flair, Cody Rhodes. You know what I mean?
yeah. Um, One thing that did stick out to me is when he started his promo. Um, First of all, he said he outlasted 29 other superstars, which is not accurate because she came out last. But the crowd started chanting, "You deserve it," which was a surprise to me because I thought there was a chance that he was going to get booed
Because of Sammy.
because of Sami.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think he was gonna get booed. I don't think that. I don't think the crowd knows what the what's going on. You know what I mean?
They're idiots.
Yeah, yeah, they're cheering for Cody, and of course they're expecting Sammy to get the same thing that Cody's being cheered for. They want all their guys to get the same shit. That's what happens when. That's the participation trophy generation.
Yeah. So
I don't like
Cody
his.
Rhodes.
I don't like
Mhm.
that he has. There's another fucking song for people to sing along to.
Finally, they did.
Okay.
I'm glad that you know, back when he was in AEW, the crowd did the oh when that part of the song came,
And then they
and I
booed him.
was I was well, this was before the boo.
Oh, okay.
While the music's playing, he's a babyface. So I liked one of my letdowns is when he went to WWE. At least when he first started coming out, they didn't do the sing along,
Okay. I don't
but
know.
now they are. But he is also kind of leading it.
True.
Like he kind of like cued them to do it.
It's just we have Rollins. I'm just tired of the singing. Just stop it.
Yeah.
But yeah, they said he deserves it, and Cody mentions that he's not the same person he was when he started. Mentions, the first day they walked into OVW, said he thought he was going to be champion within 2 years of signing. And he said, more importantly, he thought he was going to be the next John Cena. And he wonders what
Which
he,
got a boo.
yeah, and he wonders what he'd tell that version of himself. And he basically said he wouldn't change anything because all the, all the decisions I made led me here. One thing I don't like about his delivery is, and I know it's got to be emotional for him and stuff, but when he talks about Dusty, he always kind of chokes up, and it's at the point where it almost seems rehearsed.
That's part of his story now,
Yeah,
is to say it and get choked up.
right. Because he does it the same way every time. He'll just almost stop mid sentence, and it's just, yeah, it's to the point where it's just rehearsed sounding.
There was someone on Twitter that mentioned um before Raw. There, I was just looking through like the tweets to because I was looking for like what the Raw card was going to be about, and someone said on Twitter, "I'm so excited for the Cody Rhodes over the top promo where he starts crying when he mentions his dad." So they already called that out too.
Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one that noticed. He mentioned that he was the first Rhodes to main event at WrestleMania. He mentioned that wrestling in WWE has more than one royal family. Made a big deal to say that. When he mentioned Roman Reigns' name, everybody started chanting Roman sucks, so they're still mad at him.
As they should be.
And yeah, he says he respects Roman, but he's going to win in 62 days. And then after WrestleMania, you can be the tribal chief, the head of the table, you can be the biggest superstar in all of the land, but one thing you won't be is the WWE undisputed Universal Champion, which means that they're going for both belts.
Yes, I did catch that.
I wrote that down
Um,
specifically.
yeah, I caught it that he was gonna do both titles. Um, so before and before we go on to the Judgment Day or the next part of that segment, he said it in his own promo. You can be the tribal chief, you can be the head of the table, you can be the biggest superstar, but you won't be champion.
Mm-hmm.
This whole Cody Rhodes story thing is about him winning the title. It
Yes.
has nothing to do with Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns just happens to be the champion.
Why would it have anything to do with Roman Reigns?
It doesn't. I'm just saying Roman Reigns just so happens to be the champion. That's the only reason. Like if Gunther was the champion,
Uh,
this whole promo would be directed at Gunther.
of course.
On the other hand, the Sami Zayn story is about
Oh.
overcoming Roman Reigns.
Well, there are two different scenarios though. Like the only reason that Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns are going to meet is because Cody Rhodes won the opportunity to wrestle Roman. Sami Zayn was basically the mascot for the bloodline for what, a year?
Yeah, about that.
So he's a little bit more emotionally invested. So of course there would be more of a Roman element to that.
Yeah, so that's why going back to it, that's why well, actually I'm backtracking. So I was all about Sami Zayn needs to be the one at WrestleMania so that he can take down Roman.
Right.
But I've backtracked on that. He doesn't need to go to WrestleMania. Cody needs to go to WrestleMania. But I don't change what I'm saying is that is that Sammy needs to be the one to take down Roman Reigns for the titles. And I got another thing for you. Because no one's talking about this part of it. But I got some bad news for you. Roman Reigns is walking out of WrestleMania as champion. And here's why. Because on SmackDown, Michael Cole dropped this stat. Roman Reigns is like at 883 days as champion. Remember we talked about. Remember I talked about they wanted to get him to that 1,000 mark. So by the time WrestleMania comes, he's going to be like 50 days away from a 1,000-day reign. There's no way they're going to get that close to the finish line of a 1,000-day reign and change their mind on it. So Roman Reigns is walking out of WrestleMania as champion. That is why Cody Rhodes, he can have his title match at WrestleMania. Boom! So told you I was thinking about this. And also,
We'll see,
I got a little bit more for you.
because the goal eventually is to put the belt on Cody.
Yeah, you do it at SummerSlam.
Why would you do it at SummerSlam and not WrestleMania?
You know what I said? Because Roman will be at WrestleMania. Roman will be like 50 days away from 1,000-day title reign, a
Okay,
1,000-day title reign in 50 days from WrestleMania.
which is even more
That's
reason
why.
for him to lose.
No,
Okay.
because when you talk about it, when you talk about history, it adds more prestige to the title. It adds more prestige to Roman Reigns to say the
He
1,000 day
he held
reign.
he held the belt for a predetermined sport for 1,000 days. That that brings
Yes,
more prestige,
yes.
and it's not even that's not even close to Hogan's or Bruno
Well,
Sammartino's reigns.
it is close to Hogan's if he held it another year, but there's no
Exactly.
way they're going to do that. But he's in rarefied air up there.
No, because he's not. He'd have to hold it for another year to even come close to Hogan's, and then San Martino, Jesus,
You'd have to hold it for another 4 years.
yeah. So he's not even in. Like we don't even talk about Hogan and San Martino's reigns. We just talk about how they're legends. So I don't know the amount of days doesn't matter. Nobody gives a shit about that.
Why are they talking about it on Raw? Or what? Not Raw. But why are they talking about it when Roman Reigns is walking out?
The same reason they talk
800.
about they talk about Raw being the longest episodic, whatever the fuck it is, going on. Nobody cares about that. That's what they care
They
about.
do. So yes, that is why Roman Reigns is walking out as champion.
Mm.
Or maybe that's just my prediction. I see you're on the other fence,
I don't
but
know
that's
yet.
okay.
I don't know yet.
Um,
I think that I think just all this Cody dick sucking and to have him lose. I don't know.
well, it'll also him losing.
I guess
It
I
would
kind of
actually be.
backtracked with the Cody dick sucking just there. In case anybody caught it. Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, with him losing, that also would be beneficial to him because there's a little bit of struggle that he has to overcome to get the title.
He overcame a torn pectoral.
That's so he gets the title just off of that.
Yeah.
Oh, you tore your. I mean, the Miz, the Miz overcame a torn ACL. He didn't get the title
Well,
based off
that's
of
because
that.
that's the Miz.
Like, you're talking about participation trophy. That's a participation trophy. Oh, you got injured. Now you get a title.
Well,
Like, what are you saying, right?
he beat Rollins twice.
Okay, not a main event guy.
Rollins isn't a main event guy.
No, he's dicking around for the United States title.
He's still a main event guy.
I'm just okay. I'm not saying. I'm saying he's not like in the main event picture right now.
Not right now, but he's still a main event guy. He's one of the top guys.
Yes, he is.
Okay,
Who will be
so
facing Logan Paul at WrestleMania, by the
oh
way.
god, yeah.
So just get ready
Um,
for it already.
yeah. So yeah, so he beat one of the top guys twice, main event or not. He beat him. Then he tore his pec muscle. He came back. He won the Royal Rumble. That's an automatic title shot. It's not his fault that
That's
Gunther.
not an automatic.
What do you mean? That's the stipulation to win in the match.
Oh, you're saying the Royal Rumble,
Yeah.
winning the Royal Rumble at number 30.
Yes.
Like he didn't go through Gunther. If you want to really talk about it, Gunther's more deserving of a title match right now. He went number one in the Royal Rumble last to the end,
Mm-hmm.
and his title reign however many different people he's beaten. Like comparing the two, he's even more deserving.
Somebody had to come out at number 30.
Flip flop it.
Flip flop it.
Yeah,
So have Gunther come out at number 30.
you could do it that way, or I don't know. Anybody can come out at 30.
Cody doesn't need that. He doesn't need that build. He doesn't need to outlast, or he doesn't need to last like an hour and however many minutes in the Royal Rumble to show that he has the fight and tenacity and shit.
I'm just saying, there's been no resistance. It's like he's a full-grown man playing in like a pee-wee league.
Who else is going to be there?
Beware, at WrestleMania.
Yeah, who else? Who else do they have right now that would be in WrestleMania?
I'm not saying he's not deserving of WrestleMania.
Yes, you are.
I'm
You want to
saying,
say he's getting a title shot right now?
of course. All I'm saying is there's been no resistance for it.
Because he came back at the Royal Rumble and won it. There hasn't been.
But
He's
there
got
was no
62
struggle.
days. What struggle is he supposed to get into?
I don't know. There's been
What struggle would you like him to see? Would you like him to see crawl through broken glass? I'm sorry, Cody. You came out at the Royal Rumble, but you got to go through this broken glass first.
no.
You got
I
to
mean, at least
swallow some
don't.
fire. You got to let Brock Lesnar have his way with your wife.
I'm not saying he's got to go through all that. I'm just saying at least have some kind of something that he's got to overcome.
He overcame a
Let me put
torn
it to you
pec.
like let me put it to you like this. If you're watching like Rocky,
Okay.
Rocky 3, Rocky he got beat by the Russian guy and then he had to overcome and then he do all the training and all the stuff. And then at the end of the movie he beats the Russian guy, Dolph Lundgren.
Well, if you watch
That
Rock,
was a story. He overcame something. Now,
if you
if he
watch,
would have,
hold on, if you watch the first Rocky, Rocky wasn't doing anything but jacking off in little pool halls and being basically a glorified bouncer until Apollo Creed shined his little magnifying glass on him and made him a star in one night. And he didn't do anything. He didn't struggle for that.
didn't didn't Creed beat him the first round,
Well,
the
yeah,
first time?
but he should. The point is, he shouldn't have even been in the same ring as him.
Well, I'm talking about
There was no resistance. There's no resistance to that.
he beat him. That's
So
the resistance.
So if Roman beats Cody, that's the
That's the
resistance. Oh,
resistance.
you're fucking full of shit.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. If
That
Cody Rhodes,
I think you're moving the goalpost because before that you were saying he hasn't had any resistance up to this point.
and he hasn't. There's no goalpost moving.
Yes,
He
there
has
is.
not had any resistance.
And
Coming out last at the Royal Rumble is not resistance.
when should he come out? If he comes out at number 1, that spoils the surprise.
There was no surprise. We knew he was going to be there. They said it on Raw.
Yeah, but we didn't know when he was coming out.
Because he should
I mean,
have been out first.
mhm. Plus
I'm just saying.
there's always that seed of doubt because I honestly forgot about him until he came out.
No. Well, he was announced. I'm just saying, in every story, there's always something. In every like hero story, I will say, there's always something that has to be overcome. He's not overcoming anything. He's
Goldberg
just
didn't
like,
overcome anything.
oh, he wasn't a hero either.
Yeah, he was.
Matter of fact,
He was
people,
WCW's hero.
to the fans, not to the wrestlers, Bret Hart hates him.
Well, Bret the Hitman Hart would love him. Bret Hart, the future movie actor, yeah, he can't stand him.
Yeah, Bret Hart hates him.
Although Bret Hart hates a lot of things, to be fair.
Well, yeah, Cody Rhodes, he can, but oh, that's what I was gonna say. So, Sami Zayn, he's going, as we found out on SmackDown, he's going to main event Elimination Chamber with Roman Reigns. So, I think what happened, what you said should happen, will happen. Roman Reigns, he beats the hell out of Sami Zayn,
As he should.
beats him to a bloody pulp in front of his family, and then that writes Sami Zayn off TV. And then we go to WrestleMania. Roman Reigns, he beats Cody Rhodes as he should, and then he leaves WrestleMania as champion. And then Sami Zayn makes his triumphant return with his old music, by the way. Oh, he comes back with his old music. Babyface Sami Zayn comes back for round two against Roman Reigns. This time with the help of a returning Kevin Owens, who was also beat the shit out of and written off TV. He overcomes Roman Reigns. The babyface rises as he's overcome Roman Reigns. And then
That's
you can
dumb.
give it to Cody. Then
No.
you just go out and hand it, like just walk out the next night. Here, put put it on a silver platter. Here you go, Cody. Or yeah, put it on a
No.
platter. Here you
No.
go, Cody. And then Cody Rhodes, the
As I
pyro goes
said,
off
as
and
I said
he
earlier,
and he's
Sammy has
handed
been
the
nothing
title.
but the mascot for these men, these Samoan men. Sammy has just been learning how to have testicles for the first time. There's no way he's going to beat fucking Roman Reigns. He can't beat shit. He was losing all the time on Raw to the lower talent. He can't beat Kevin Owens by himself.
He did in NXT.
That was NXT.
Well,
Actually, no. Kevin Owens. It was a no contest. Kevin Owens,
no, he won one.
not against Kevin Owens.
Yeah, he did.
I don't think so.
I remember it was one of the. I remember it very vividly because
And
I was like, "Wow, this is such a
he
great
beat
story,"
he
and
beat
I didn't even
Neville.
know any.
He beat Neville. Then Kevin Owens powerbombed him on the apron. Then they had a match, and he basically Sammy just won the belt, and Kevin Owens took it from him. I don't.
No, I'm not talking about that. I didn't watch it then. I'm
Well
talking
then,
about they had a match, and Sami Zayn Haluba kicked him twice, and that was how the match ended, and he won.
I don't think that was NXT then.
Yeah, it was NXT. I remember it. I don't know. I don't remember what takeover it was, but because I didn't know anything about the two, but I can tell that it was a good story because of what they told in the ring. Like the match itself was a great story told. Um, yeah, I guess we can circle back on the conversation about Sammy and Cody and Roman because we got SmackDown to cover still. But
Just see
so
the
next
one.
then we have, huh?
Just you're gonna have to just point me to that match.
Oh, okay. So while Cody Rhodes is in the ring doing his little promo,
Oh yeah, there's more.
out comes the Judgment Day. Um,
Yeah, the ones with testicles and Dominique came out. Basically interrupted Cody's exit.
yeah, and they start picking a fight with Cody Rhodes. Dominique, he
There's
says
his
that you ruined.
resistance.
Dominique says you ruined my moment. That should have been me that won the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Priest says everything is just getting handed to you. I mean, you got number 30. How does that even happen? So even Priest knows that there was something wrong with him just getting handed the Royal Rumble.
You got handed the Royal. Well, whatever.
And Balor, crazy enough is I'm a Cody fan, so it sounds like I have this narrative against Cody, but I don't. I just have a narrative against. No, not against. I have a narrative for the story, and the story leads somewhere else, unfortunately. Um, but yeah, Cody says, I know where this is going. Basically, someone's trying to fight me, so whichever one of you three wants to fight, we can do it. And initially, or Balor essentially takes it up and says it'll be me. Um, and then
And then,
Edge comes out for some
well,
reason.
Cody's music starts playing, and I just thought it was funny that the Judgment Day only had the power to stop his music once.
Yeah, they did.
But
Yeah, and
yeah,
as Cody Rhodes' music is playing, and he's out there slapping hands with the fans and signing autographs, out comes Edge, and he puts the attack on Judgment Day. Rhea Ripley gets involved. She starts to. No, sorry, that's at the end, right? Yeah, that was at the
yeah,
end.
that was the
Skipping ahead there. So, Edge is taking on Judgment Day. Cody Rhodes, while he's over there signing autographs, he's like, "Oh shit!" Then he runs over there and helps Edge. So we go to commercial break, with them brawling with the Judgment Day.
yep.
Uh, and then we move on to our next segment: Seth freaking Rollins versus Chad Gable. At first, I thought this was just like a randomly thrown together match. Turns out it wasn't. It was a match that is to determine a spot for the United States Championship at the Elimination Chamber. So, if if that wasn't clear, let me say it again. So, they will be doing an Elimination Chamber match for the United States title. And then so we have all these qualifying matches going on. Chad Gable versus Seth Rollins was the first one.
Yep.
Austin Theory, since he's the champion, he's already put into the match.
And because it was an elimination chamber qualifying match, you already knew who was going to win this one.
Yes. Like, well, yeah, as soon as they said it, now we know Rollins is winning. And sure enough, he did. But
Yeah, it was a
this
great
was,
match though because they did mat wrestling and it just I really wish that they did more with Gable instead of having him just shush people.
yeah, he definitely should start winning some matches.
He did a great diving headbutt to Seth Rollins. It looked just like Chris Benoit's. Well, almost. Chris Benoit, he he would commit to the to the dive at the end. Gable put his hands up at the last second.
Yeah. And
Probably
I was
because
actually thinking they should, I was actually thinking, man, they should probably, he should probably take that out of his move set, that diving headbutt.
yeah.
Yeah, it looks great, but didn't work out well for the last guy who did it.
Well, that's probably why he put his hands up at the last second. I saw.
Yeah, that too.
I saw how the last guy did it.
Yeah.
Um, there was a spot where Gable goes for a moonsault, and then Rollins ducks out of it, but Gable lands on his feet. But then Rollins kind of counters that into a power bomb, well, buckle bomb. It was a really nice sequence, even though I didn't explain it very well.
Yeah. It was just like a roll through, yeah.
There's a lot of those.
There was another one with Rollins doing like a kick. What was he trying to do? I think it was like an insecurity.
And they got him into
Gable,
the ankle lock.
yeah,
Yeah, that was great.
yeah, and then he had the wrong leg, and then he rolled into the other leg, put the ankle lock on. I wish the ankle lock actually was more protected in
Right.
this sense. But
Well,
like in that moment, he was reminding me of like this
Angle.
is like Kurt Angle
Yeah,
reincarnated.
absolutely. He even
All he's got to do is shave his head.
didn't he move the straps? He pulled the straps off.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're really wasting him. He's great.
I did like the finish, like the roll, the schoolboy that got countered into the pedigree.
Yeah, it was very unique. I had to watch it a couple times.
Yeah.
I mean, it
And
wasn't the prettiest way. I think in their heads they thought it'd be a lot cleaner, but I thought it was a really nice visual. Because I mean, neither one of them really had the upper hand throughout the whole match. It was pretty back and forth.
yeah.
So it was nice to see. It was just nice to see good wrestling.
And you got it there.
And I also don't have any idea why Otis was out there because he didn't do anything except get fatter.
I guess just to because he's Chad Gable's partner.
Okay.
There's another thing. Why are you putting a tag team guy in this match? But I guess that's a little nitpick. Um, After that segment, we moved on to Io Sky again, who came out to her own music. Uh, she wrestled Candice LeRae. Um, this was one of the matches. Remember, I said the crowd, like even even the like down matches, they were into it. Well, they
Yeah.
were into this match.
Okay.
I would say it wasn't even. It was a better match than other matches of the women. Like I would say, this was Candice LeRae's like one of her better matches on the main roster since she's been back.
Is it because
Well,
she's
I
with
guess
EO?
on the main roster. And yeah, they gelled together really well. It wasn't like their takeover level match, but it's still a good match. EO wins, and the crowd was into it. Um, I think because the crowd was into it, they performed more. I guess I don't know. Maybe that's just you know members like, oh, the crowd's actually into it. Let's also get into it.
Well, this one wasn't on Hulu, so I unfortunately missed it. Hulu doesn't like EO.
Well, they'll come around. Um, After that, we got Rhea Ripley. She came out alone to announce her who she's picking for the WrestleMania match. And everybody thought she was gonna go Bianca Belair, but she swerved and she said that Charlotte Flair has been the gold standard. Everything is handed to her, and she's here to be the disruptor. And everybody, right now, everybody's bowing down to the Queen, but prepare to bow down to the Nightmare or something to that effect. Charlotte Flair, I choose you. So she has chosen. She's chosen Charlotte Flair to run through, to dominate, to beat down, and to become champion over. Now, that still leaves what happens with Bianca Belair, which we will get to, but um, so I guess we can already just say they're doing they're doing a elimination chamber match to decide who's going to face Bianca Belair. Um,
There's already some ladies that were qualified immediately.
Yeah, so essentially it was the final four of the Royal Rumble. Asuka,
Liv Morgan, because of
did
course.
she qualify?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, I guess I just said that. Yeah. Asuka, Liv Morgan, um,
I don't know who the others were.
Michelle,
Rip-
golly, Raquel Rodriguez is
Okay.
the other one. And I believe Piper Niven, or she might be in a qualifier. Anyway, there's women in it already,
Okay.
and it was the final four of the Royal Rumble minus Rhea Ripley because she won. And then the other women are determined off of a qualifier who we're getting to on SmackDown. But then we move on to a Seth Rollins backstage segment. Says the usual thing about he's gonna beat he's gonna become the United States champion. Kathy Kelly asked him, "What do you think about Logan Paul eliminating you at the Royal Rumble?" And Rollins scoffs and then walks off.
Yeah. He just kind of smiles
So
and gets a little serious look on his face, and then he storms off. And then he on Instagram Live, he said Logan Paul doesn't belong in his locker room. He's not a wrestler. Nobody likes
did he?
him. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. There you go. So there you go. So I guess we're getting we're definitely getting Rollins versus Logan Paul. Although he was also this was floating around when he was doing the Royal Rumble pro stuff or press stuff. Someone asked him about CM Punk coming to WWE.
They say he's a
Did you happen to
cancer.
see that?
Yeah.
Yeah. He said he basically
Stay
said, yeah, he
away.
said CM Punk is a cancer. No one wants him here. Stay away. You ruined that company.
You ruined our company. You ruined that company. We all knew he was an asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we
Um,
talked about it. I felt like we talked about it at some point.
no, because it happened. We didn't get a chance to.
Okay.
But yeah. So he cut this promo. Now that made people think, oh, that means they're building towards a CM Punk match. No, he just pretty much told you it wants nothing to do with CM Punk. Like this wasn't just Seth Rollins being Seth Rollins. This was a legit. I don't want him back in our locker room.
It would be pretty good to see Seth Rollins and CM Punk though.
Yeah,
That'd
I
be a,
think he would come around to it, but
that'd be a hell of a lot better than Logan Paul and Seth Rollins.
I mean, this is the same guy who didn't want to work with Riddle, so they came around to that too.
He didn't want to work with him.
No,
Why not?
um,
Because the bulge.
Riddle's no Riddle's girlfriend at the time said Becky Lynch didn't have an ass,
That's it.
and then well, it got worse. Well, they it started like a back and forth with them on that, but yeah, that was pretty much it.
So because Riddle's woman said something about his woman.
Ass, yeah. I mean, Seth Rollins then had to come to the defense of his
He
woman,
didn't.
the
No.
mother of his
He could have just said, "Oh, that's internet shit."
the mother of his kids, and then well, Riddle didn't help things. Like he was egging it on too. Like
Mm.
I think he said something too. So yeah, then they had to go back and forth,
Mm.
and then he didn't want to work with him. It was so much so he didn't even want to be on the same show with him. Like if he's on Raw, I don't want to be on Raw. But yeah, they squashed all that.
That's stupid.
Um, yeah,
That's really stupid.
We move on then to Corbin and Johnny Gargano for another Elimination Chamber qualifier.
This one wasn't as predictable, but let's just go ahead and cut to the shit. Johnny Gargano won. He beat the wrestling god. Let's move on.
Cool. the Jobber God.
Yeah.
Um, we then go to a MVP VIP lounge where MVP was going to have Austin Theory as his guest. Um, there was just a back and forth essentially between MVP and Austin Theory on whether or not Austin Theory can beat Bobby Lashley. And finally got to a point where Bobby Lashley came out. He went to spear Theory, and Theory pulled MVP in the way. So Lashley speared MVP, and Theory rolled out of the ring, and that was pretty much the gist of that segment. Um, Worth noting, there was a moment in the in the MVP lounge. There was a moment where they were talking about their title reigns. MVP said, "You know, I'm the longest. I was the longest reigning United States champion. What makes you think that you could be any better than me or something?" And Theory said um, something to the tune of he has ruthless aggression. So there was another John Cena Easter egg there.
Oh.
So we're essentially confirming that Theory is going to be wrestling John Cena at WrestleMania. It does add questions, for me at least. Okay, they're going to wrestle at WrestleMania. So is Theory going to be the champion going into WrestleMania? Because he doesn't really need the title going into WrestleMania against John Cena. Like, that match doesn't really need to be for a title.
John Cena might need it. Let me be the U.S. China.
No. He has another movie coming up, so he's definitely not staying
Yeah, he wants to wear the U.S. title belt during his movie.
on set.
Yeah, he wants to wear it on all the scenes.
Okay.
And every
So
time,
yeah, it opens
every
to
time it cuts to him on camera, he has to say, "The champ is here."
sure. Also, I guess since we're talking about John Cena, why is he on the cover of WWE 2K23?
Because he's
Like, why are we going like with the John Cena who's not even really in the WWE anymore? He does one-off matches, one match a year,
still
as
the
opposed
biggest
to
name.
well, put a young star on there.
I agree with you,
Like,
but they need to build up a young star that would sell video games.
people are gonna buy the game regardless. I don't know one person who's like, oh, I'm not getting that cover needs to be better for me to buy it. Like, you either want the game or you don't.
I didn't buy the Madden with Brady on
Well, that's because you're a child. But
it.
real people who want to play the game, they want to play the game. They're not going to sit there and look at the cover while they're playing the video game.
No, it's not just looking at the cover. They got the cover on the home screen too, and they got little side quests that are specific to who's on the cover. No, fuck that shit. I'm not doing a Brady dynasty.
But it
Shot.
did look like there's like a yeah, there's some kind of story mode in the game where John Cena like relives his greatest rivalries, like
That seems to be what
RVD.
they've been doing because um, Mysterio is on last or this year's or you know the game that's out
Hmm.
now. Austin was on one not too long ago.
Yeah, they do that. What is it like the
The
My Legacy
showcase,
or some shit? Yeah, that. And
which
you're just playing. It's like a story mode version of the game. Like who goes and plays that anyway?
yeah, it's kind of boring.
How many times have you played through that?
None.
Let's see. If
I'll
you're a
do the
real gamer, you're not playing through that. You're just playing through the other stuff. Like you're playing the universe mode or
Yeah.
GM mode or you know.
Well, it was a good idea, I think, when they did the Undertaker and when they did Austin. I felt like they did Mick Foley too, but once you start getting to the Mysterios and the, I guess Cena wouldn't be too bad, but once you start getting to the lower characters, it's kind of run its course.
Yeah, I remember one year. Yeah, the Undertaker. They had like the beat the streak mode or something.
Yeah,
But yeah, so
I think
I guess
Undertaker
it
was
does make a little
harder,
bit more sense. Oh yeah, he was kicked out of everything.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, so that's your Bobby Lashley segment.
and
So we got the tease again for John Cena. Judgment Day, they had another backstage segment. Uh, Finn Balor talked about how Cody Rhodes he stole this, he stole this. What he was doing was like the Too Sweet symbol and the Bullet Club symbol. So he stole the Bullet Club and he stole the Too Sweet, uh, which is also Bullet Club, I believe. But here
he,
nor there.
he also said, "Where's my fanfare when I came back from a horrifying injury?"
Yeah, he didn't get the title back.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't think has he ever wrestled for a title since.
yeah, he had the one match against Roman Reigns where the turnbuckle broke
Oh, that's right.
and Roman Reigns pinned him, and then they never followed that back up.
There you go.
They barely even talked about it afterwards. It's like the weirdest. Just oh well, it happened. Let's move on.
Yeah, they gave up on him quick. Like, oh, he gets
Yeah,
hurt. Never mind.
unfortunate.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Um,
He's pretty good when he's not talking.
yeah. So then we could go to a uh, Bailey segment where she she's reveling in what she did on Raw 30, with the whole steel cage thing. And cut to the chase, Becky Lynch comes out. They have a war of words. Becky Lynch is wanting another title match. I'm sorry, cage match. And Bailey is not going to accept. So one of the insults that was dropped that should be mentioned is Bailey said that the only reason that Seth is with Becky Lynch is because he knocked her up.
That's good. That's a good insult.
And yeah, Becky Lynch was like, and all this time I thought we were just fighting over wrestling. But now I see it's much bigger than that. Um, I think, just to get into some like TMZ shit, I think I saw some kind of story about like Seth Rollins being with Bailey, not like not like a couple. He beat up them guts. I think I saw something about that. So
Ironically enough, I saw something about her and Balor too.
yeah, it's like golly, Seth Rollins is running through Bailey and Becky Lynch. You gotta be wearing the women's clothes to get through this.
Apparently,
Is that what gets you these days? The women's clothes?
those women, but he can have them.
Hey, Bailey ain't bad.
She looks like she's from fucking Jersey Shore. I do like how she hasn't succumbed to the the lure of plastic surgery like her counterparts have.
Like Charlotte Flair.
Charlotte, Becky, it looks like she's had some work done too.
I think she just got her nose done, of course,
Yeah.
but she also had a broken nose, so they had to get that fixed. But yeah, so we set up a cage match, Becky and Bailey, and that's happening this coming week on Raw.
Oh boy.
We then move on to Miz. He's in the ring, complaining about not getting his Raw 30 moment, not getting his Royal Rumble moment. People were chanting at him when he was in the airport, uh, first man out or some shit, because he was the first man eliminated in the Rumble. Adam Pearce comes out and says, "You're right, Miz. You want an opportunity to, so I'm giving you an opportunity to get into the Elimination Chamber. You just have to go through the newest member of Monday Night Raw. Out comes a returning Rick Boogs. My name is Rick Boogs. Looking jacked as ever, of course. It was really a squash match. Uh, I don't know. It lasted what 2 seconds or so.
I didn't see it. It wasn't on
Oh,
my streaming service.
yeah. It was a really quick match. It lasted. It didn't even last a minute. Um, Boogs hits him with his overhead press into the slam thing, and that was pretty much the end of that. You can already tell if you have eyes and a brain, you can already tell that they have two musical talents on the show. So it's just a matter of time before they're a tag team.
Or rivals.
Elias, Elias and Boogs. Oh, yeah, they could go that route. Like, cause
I'm the best shitty music guy. I'm
well,
the
one's like a rock guy, and then I don't know what Elias is, country.
He's like a folk. I'd say folk music.
Yeah, so that shit you do ain't music, Elias. And then Boogs talking about the rock and roll lives on forever.
Yeah, see, it rates
Hair,
itself.
yeah. So yeah, they could be a rival, but I could also see them being a tag team. Like what I thought, that was my first thought. Well, that's gonna be a tag team.
Well, they could start
But
off as rivals and then be a tag team. That's usually how it goes.
yeah, but yeah, that is a good that is a good writes itself type of thing. It'll give Elias something to do, and
Besides,
then
get beat.
I
He can
mean,
get beat with a partner.
you could even have them. I know I don't want to see it, but I'm just saying you can have them do like musical battles or something.
Oh Jesus! Like 8 Mile.
Well, neither one raps, but yeah, they have some kind of back and forth with the music.
Have Mackay Pfeiffer come out, and then they start playing, and you can see the smile on Mackay Pfeiffer's face just slowly melt away. He's like, "What the fuck is this? What the fuck did I get
Why
myself
did I
into?"
agree to this? Yeah, I mean they could have fun with it.
Yeah.
Um, After that segment, Adam Pearce officially announced that the women will be in the. I'm sorry, the Becky and Bailey cage match is on for next week, and then he talked about the women doing the elimination chamber as we talked about earlier. So I guess if I can give a early prediction for myself, I would say probably Raquel Rodriguez would win to go on to face Bianca Belair at Elimination Chamber. I'm sorry, at WrestleMania. Um, But I could also see, and the fan base is really getting behind the idea of Asuka being the one.
But yeah, she's popular.
Um, so I could see it being Asuka, but I could also see it being Raquel. Either way they go. If I could lean towards one, I would say Asuka.
As long as it's not Liv Morgan.
Well, we know it's not going to be her.
You never
She's
know.
probably, she's going to do some Mick Foley shit and
Yay.
not win.
Actually, I don't know because I'm not going to watch it.
You'll have your skip button ready.
Yep. I'll watch Asuka's entrance, but that's probably it.
Um, After that, we go to Dolph Ziggler versus Bronson Reed in another qualifier.
Yeah, before
Again,
that, first of all, before the match, Byron Saxon, for some reason, is still working there. And he does a backstage interview with Dolph Ziggler. And then Mustafa comes in and starts talking some shit. Which you thought
oh
that.
yeah, I did want to touch on that.
Yeah, bro.
But what were you gonna say?
Well, I mean, you'd think that would set up the match between those two, but they never really went into that.
Yeah, I did want to touch on that. I love how they are kind of slowly building that. So like that's that's been happening a couple weeks in a row. Oh, you're getting another opportunity. So first you didn't want to. This is Mustafa. I'm sorry, Mustafa. First you didn't want to tag with me in the tag turmoil match, and now you're getting like opportunity after opportunity to go for the United States title. Like, why do you keep getting so many opportunities? So they're kind of building like a slow heel turn,
Yeah.
or
I think
I
he's
would
already
say
a
a
heel
feud.
now.
Well, they're both faces right now.
He ain't a face now.
Yes, he is.
No, he ain't.
Well, I don't know what he is, honestly. He
As
hadn't
as
been on
of
TV for
as of
weeks.
Monday, he is not a heel, or as of Monday, he is not a face.
What did he do?
He interrupted Dolph Ziggler's interview and just started talking shit.
So he didn't
Do you
physically
know what a
hit him.
face is? Do you know what the difference between a baby face and a heel is? A
He's
heel a
disgruntled. He's not.
heel a heel would interrupt an interview and just provoke somebody without being provoked first. Being disgruntled is one thing. If he was disgruntled as a face, he would work harder to overcome whatever he's disgruntled about. He would pull up
Well,
his
that's
fucking
the start of his
bootstraps
heel
and
turn.
succeed.
That's what leads to the heel turn.
He's a heel now.
Like, oh, he just wants to blame everybody, but he's not
Even
looking
even Corey Graves
inwards.
said he's the single most annoying human being in the world. That means he's a heel.
Okay.
Even the commentators are saying it.
Well, why didn't he attack? Why didn't he cost Ziggler the match or attack him afterwards or do anything?
Because he get his ass beat.
He probably wasn't even there.
That's it.
So,
That was pre-recorded. That was from 3 weeks ago.
so yeah, it was Bronson Reed versus Dolph Ziggler, qualifier for uh, the United States title. Bronson Reed squashes, literally, Dolph Ziggler with a tsunami and picks up the victory.
Yeah, Ziggler got most of the offense. Um, it kind of looked like he hit Bronson with everything he had. I didn't understand why it was so. I don't want to say competitive because it wasn't. Like Dolph Ziggler would hit him with a bunch of shit, and Bronson would hit him with a power move, and then finally he got him with the tsunami. Like, I still don't get Bronson. He just seems like a fat guy to me. He doesn't. He doesn't
That's
do.
really all you need.
Okay, fair enough.
That's all you need from him. I mean, could you imagine him tsunamiing Otis? That's all you need.
True.
Man, that's meat on meat right there.
Yeah, that'd be
Those
great.
bellies.
They couldn't lock up. They'd be touching at the belly button and trying to grab each other. Come
Yeah.
here.
If this was Vince McMahon, he'd have the bright idea to do a sumo match between them.
Yeah. Didn't
You
the
know,
Big Show had a
let's
sumo
put those
match
two fat guys in there. Yeah, they did.
with a real sumo wrestler?
Yeah.
And of course, he lost.
Well, I mean, it's professional.
Yeah.
We go then to a segment. Carmella, she
Is still working there
is
too.
she's back. She was injured, but she's now back.
Well, no, think about it.
Um,
Think about all the prominent names that were released just in the last year. We don't even have to go further back than that. And then you see fucking Byron Saxon and Carmella on your TV screen in the same night.
well, Saxton is a backstage guy.
Even more reason why you shouldn't be there. How many backstage
He,
people do you need?
well, he used to be on commentary, so it was
I
worse.
know, I know, I know who Byron Saxon is.
But they demoted him.
And they should
But
have
Kevin Patrick's still there.
they should have
You want
fired
to
him.
talk about someone? Talk about Patrick. Focus that energy on Patrick. Get him out.
He's bad too.
Yeah, he's the first one to go. But yeah, Carmella.
She said some shit, then Asuka interrupted her. Carmella starts talking shit like, "Oh, you're about to say I'm not ready for Asuka," blah 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 blah, and then Asuka just smiles evilly at her while this blue cum rolls down her chin.
Yes, and that's how that segment goes off there. um, and then we move on to our main event: Cody Rhodes, Finn Balor. Um, it was a good match.
Does he has did he do the weightlifting belt thing?
Yeah,
In AEW.
that's a yeah.
Okay.
Which part? The throwing it to the crowd or the kissing?
The giving it to the crowd. It's like he's doing the Bret Hart sunglasses thing.
Yeah. He either gives it or in AEW he would either give it or throw it.
Okay.
Um, Towards the end they started throwing it back, so that tells you how how that was going.
Yeah.
um,
That
so
just
yeah, we
seems
have Cody.
expensive.
Oh, to go through all those weightlifting belts.
Yeah. It's not like cheap sunglasses. I don't
Well,
know.
he wants to do something.
Yeah. It's a nice little visual. I thought it was funny that the little girl he handed it to, her brother, like immediately took it from her as soon as Cody walked away.
Oh, I didn't see that.
I did. He was great.
Um, I find it odd that Cody Rhodes, his new thing is to do his finisher like multiple times in a row. Like he did it twice like on Gunther, three times on Balor.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why do you have to do it so many times?
Because
Like,
he's
I
he's
understand if it's like,
he's watched the show before and he knows that finishers don't mean dick, so he's got to do it more than once.
well,
He's got to
finishers
double
have been
tap him.
more protected.
When?
When
When?
everybody's finishers, the actual finishers are protected for the
They
most
get
part.
kicked out all the time.
Only in big matches,
Almost all the matches.
like in the middle of a Raw,
How many times?
you're not
How
gonna
many
kick
times
out
you?
of a finisher.
Yeah, you see him kick out of the pedigree. You see him kick out of the curb stomp.
Who?
What do you mean who?
Who's kicked out of a curb stomp on TV
Do you want me to name?
lately?
I'll find out for you.
Lately.
I'll find out for you.
Okay. But yeah, so Cody Rhodes, he hits his finisher multiple times. He wins. Post match, Edge, he comes out through the crowd. He starts fighting Priest and Dominic. And again, Cody Rhodes joins in. So there's that or there's that little brawl thing going. I'm sorry, I misremembered it. Before the end of the match, Edge comes out. He attacks Priest and Dominic on the outside. Um, Rhea Ripley steps in. She steps up to Edge. Out of nowhere, out comes running Beth Phoenix. She hits a spear on Ripley.
Well, no,
Through
the
all of this,
Edge speared Dominique, and then the smaller Ripley immediately blindsided Edge, and Edge is so overwhelmed by Ripley he can't even move. And then little tiny Beth Phoenix came out with her big hair and speared Ripley, and then she was out. That's what happened.
okay. And then through all of this, Cody Rhodes hits the crossroad, like I said, 3 times,
Yeah,
and then that was the end of the show.
it was overbooked,
Um,
overbooked horseshit. Like as soon as the Judgment Day came out, you knew that there's like it wasn't just gonna be a match. It was just gonna be a whole bunch of horse. Edge came out. Beth Phoenix was there. All the Judgment Day were brawling. They cut to fucking Rhea Ripley 11 times.
you counted?
I sure as shit did.
Okay.
11 times. I don't give a fuck what her facial expression is when when a match that she's not even involved in has a false finish or something like that. Fuck her.
Well, she's about to be champion, so
Well,
you're
I
gonna
ain't
have to
gonna
get
see it.
used to her.
So I don't have to get used to shit. I got the skip button.
You better get used to your skip button. You get your finger warmed up.
Fucking
She's gonna be
talentless cunt
front and
won't ever be
center.
on my TV.
She's gonna be front and center. Champion. She's gonna be on the billboards, on the posters, pay-per-view graphics, all of them.
Well, I don't look at the poster.
You're gonna have to get that. You're gonna get that finger ready.
Oh, I do anyway.
Um,
There's Liv Morgan. There's Rhea Ripley. Most of the women. I skipped the Gargano shit. Why am I going to waste my time watching Johnny Gargano and Baron Corbin?
I know Corbin's in that match. Why would you watch that? Who's gonna watch a Corbin match and
Either
take
of
it
them.
seriously? So then, yeah, we move on to SmackDown. SmackDown. Enter the Bloodline, and we finally get our follow-up to the Sami Zayn story.
Yep.
Sorry, the Bloodline story, not the Sami Zayn story.
Yep. Bloodline enters the arena with Sokoa Joe. It's Roman Reigns, Jimmy Uso, and Paul Heyman. The lady, without even looking to see if Jay's around, says that he's not there. Wants to know what his status is. Roman just keeps walking, doesn't say shit. Paul Heyman says that he can't confirm or deny such a cold-hearted question.
Yeah, and that's how we get to the segment. And as Roman stepped out of the limo, the fans started booing, of course.
Yes. I just thought it was weird that she didn't even look to see.
Well, she knew.
Of course she knew, but I mean, her character didn't. Just saying.
Yeah, so the start of the story is where is Jay? Where is Jay? After that, we go to our first match of the evening. We have Strowman and Ricochet versus Imperium. Winner will take on the Usos for the title. There is some story about that too, because later on later on when they're looking for Jay and Roman Reigns is like, "Where is he?" And by the way, don't you defend the titles next week? Shouldn't he really like he should be here? And Jimmy is like, "It's my brother. He'll be here." So they did build that into the storyline. Um, Ricochet and Strowman win, so they'll be taking on the Usos. I don't really have much to say about the match. I'll be honest with you. It was just a match.
I You knew who was gonna win.
Well, I didn't. I thought it was going to be Imperial,
Oh, as soon
especially
as
over
see,
a team
talking
that's
about no
not even a team.
resistance. As soon as Strowman and Ricochet entered that tournament, you knew that their little bromance was going to overcome everybody.
Even they've had more resistance than Cody
They haven't
Rhodes,
had more
and they just
resistance.
and they like see they at least had to go through two teams. Cody Rhodes only
He had to go
like
through 29 men.
he went through none of 29.
29.
So in your scenario, if they had no resistance, they would have been just put in the finals,
They
and then they
basically
only had
were.
to beat Imperium.
They
But
basically were. Who did they have to wrestle? Exactly.
didn't they wrestle? I don't know who they wrestled. Hit Row, wasn't it? Yeah, it was Hit Row. That's what they had to wrestle.
Yeah, it was one of the little bullshit teams.
Yeah, but they've moved on. Uh, Wrong team definitely lost, but you can't do a heel versus heel team. Um,
Yeah, you can. They
I don't
just
know.
did it last week. What the fuck are you talking about?
Let me rephrase then for you. You can't do. They don't want to do a heel versus heel team in this scenario because they need all this heat to remain on the Usos or on at least Jimmy Uso.
Well, Jimmy would be the heel out of the two of them.
And Jay's the face.
I mean, kind of, sorta. At least in the fans' eyes.
Well, they were chanting
I don't
by the
think
end of
that.
the night. They were chanting, "We want Jay."
I don't think they're going to be viewed as the face team or as the heel team, unless they super kick the shit out. Well, no, if they super kick the shit out of Ricochet, they might be more popular.
I don't know. The fans seem to love Ricochet.
Fans are dumb. We just got done talking about how the crowd's dumb.
We move on then to a segment with uh oh, so we move on to a recap of the Royal Rumble, and then we get Charlotte Flair versus Sonya Deville for the Women's SmackDown Championship. And this would have been great. There's only one major flaw that they seem to have overlooked, and that is 6 days ago, Rhea Ripley just said that she's going to face Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania. So her saying that, oh, I wonder who's going to win this match. So in that vein, I skipped it
Sonya
because,
Sonya Deville in a backstage segment did say that it'd be Rhea Ripley and Deville at WrestleMania.
well, I mean, yeah, she said it, but
I mean, obviously the
like,
outcome, but they
and I
at least
want to,
they addressed it.
and I almost want to say that they put a graphic up on that too.
Probably did, yeah.
So yeah, they kind of maybe they forgot that they had that championship match coming up on on Friday.
You don't think they could?
But
First of all, that's not really Charlotte's face anymore, so they could easily switch that with Sonya Deville's. Kevin Dunn could do it.
Well, they could do it. Of course, they could change it, but I'm just saying they made it even less believable that it was going to happen by specifically saying,
It would have been funny if
like,
they had the graphic during the match.
but yeah, Charlotte Flair won. Um,
She was supposed to.
yeah, I skipped over, and I guess we should we should definitely bring it up. But before that match, they ran this NASCAR segment that I saw it on social media before SmackDown, so
Oh, it was
of
longer
course I did. But
because I saw it on social media too. But the actual segment was fucking long.
yeah, and essentially what it was they're pumping up this NASCAR event. I don't know what it is, but some kind of NASCAR event is about to happen. Daytona, probably, because it seems like the only thing they do is Daytona.
And
And
that's the only one you know.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
There's
they
Talladega.
promoted.
Is that one?
Is that a real one?
I, I thought so.
Oh, there's the Indy 500. There's another one.
Yeah, yeah. We got 2.5.
And then there's the one with the. Oh no, the Bush. Is it the Bush?
I have no idea.
I don't
Hey, we get let's cut what we're at.
know. um. So yeah, they talk about or they're pumping up that. So we have this segment where Rey Mysterio's there. He's with some older driver, and then just so conveniently. Oh, and he's also with the New Day,
Does
and
yeah, yeah.
just so conveniently, this one was less believable because like, oh, how convenient that you're also at this event. But the Judgment Day shows up. Dominic and Finn and Damian Priest. They're with some other race car driver.
Yeah, like, oh, your guy's old. This is something something.
Yeah,
That's when I skipped it. Like, come on.
and yeah, insert. So there's an older. If the one NASCAR fan that may or may not be listening, there's one guy who's older. He's like has white hair, but he's tall. And then there's this other guy who's he had darker hair, shorter guy. Anyway,
Paints
they're
quite
each
the
two with
picture, doesn't he, folks?
yeah, they're each two with the guys, and then um, Dominic is talking about his father deadbeat dad thing. It ends up in them solving it on the racetrack, and they're gonna have a race. So, like, well, we got two cars here. Let's settle this on the asphalt. So they have their race. Ray ended up winning, and then yeah, that's the gist of all that.
Yeah, it was stupid.
um,
We get another Cody package.
yeah, because we haven't had enough Cody packages, so let's get another one out
Yeah.
there.
And then we see the Bloodline backstage. Roman asks where Jay is. No one's heard from him. Roman finds that disrespectful. He says it's one thing to walk out, but not to communicate, especially with a title match next week. A tag team title match next week. Just seems very disrespectful. And he looks at Jimmy and goes, I'm going to ask you again. Where's your brother? And Jimmy tells him again, you don't know where he is. And then Roman sends Sokoa Joe and Jimmy to find Jay. And Sokoa Joe is just sitting there like a lobotomized patient. just staring.
Yeah. Oh, he also asked Solo if he saw him. He said, "Solo, where's Jay?" And Solo didn't even say
Yeah, he's too busy drooling.
anything.
Um,
So, and then yeah, he's like, "You're not gonna find him sitting on this couch."
right. Bro, get out there and look for him.
Yeah.
So then we go to other guy and mouthpiece McFingerbang versus the Viking Raiders, and I said fuck that. But I did make sure to um, mouthpiece McFingerbang did a lockup and 4 punches before he started finger banging the Viking Raider that is an Ivar. So just just wanted to throw that diverse combo out there.
Well, there you go. Move count before the finger bang.
Yep.
And
Which
yeah.
is an improvement because the last time he did an arm stomp before he finger banged. So throw in some punches first.
So this was, what was this match for? I don't think it was for anything. I just think it was there.
I think the the two goofs were fighting for honor for their friends, pretty much.
Oh.
Because the
Oh yeah.
Viking
So
Raiders, they jumped Drew McIntyre and Sheamus.
oh yeah. So yeah. Okay. So they're fighting for revenge. This was ridiculous. This whole thing. They're fighting for revenge for their friend, and they are the Brawling Brutes. But they don't have Sheamus with them. So I don't know if this. I don't know if the Sheamus part of the Brawling Brutes is a thing anymore. Um, but yeah, they're fighting for his honor or whatever. The Viking Raiders win. Post match, Sheamus and Drew McIntyre come out
Fresh as
to
a
fight the
daisy.
Viking Raiders.
Like, oh man, that looked rough.
Well, they come out to fight the Viking Raiders,
Yeah.
and so they were there. Like Sheamus was there the whole time.
Yeah.
Like I found it kind of ridiculous that you got the brawling brutes and he's not out there, but then he comes out like right at the end of that segment. So yeah, that's what makes me question if the brawling brutes is a thing anymore. Um, I do like though the Viking Raiders when they were leaving after they had beaten the brawling brutes. They're leaving and through the um when the music plays for McIntyre and Sheamus, there was nothing, right? Like, or there were no facial expressions.
Say that again.
So when Sheamus and Drew McIntyre came out,
Uh huh.
there were no facial expressions from them. They were just like, "All right, let's go." Like they weren't scared or anything. They were just like, "Whatever, let's go."
Oh,
So I like that. I guess that's where we're going for WrestleMania.
well that's good because I heard that Gunther and was gonna put his title on the line against Sheamus and Drew McIntyre in a triple threat match. I'd much rather see them go against the Viking Raiders. Stay away from Gunther.
Well, maybe
No,
that
no,
is
no,
where they
no,
go.
no, no.
But
Stay away from Gunther.
well, Gunther himself on his Twitter, um, he posted the standoff between him and Brock Lesnar.
He did.
So I don't know. I don't know if he was like, I don't know if he was teasing that or what happened, but he definitely put that on his Twitter or his social media. He put it out. Like that means he went back and watched the Royal Rumble to find that clip. Let me tell you some inside baseball here. He went back to find that clip, clipped it, and then put it out on his social media. Maybe someone sent it to him. I don't know. Maybe we don't have to get bogged down on those details. all you gotta know is he there was some effort for him to go find that specific moment in time to put it on his social media. So I don't think that was for just for fun.
It was a good moment.
Yeah. Um, our next segment. Oh, so yeah, Sheamus and McIntyre and the Viking Raiders had a little brawl. That's how we ended the segment. Um, our next segment was a fatal four-way match.
Yeah, Shotzi came out and I skipped whatever she was involved with. She was the first one
Well,
that came out. And I said, fuck that. I've seen NASCAR. I've seen Clayface. I've seen Sakoa Joe drool. I'm not I'm not watching Shotzi.
don't worry, I got it.
Good deal.
So it was a fatal four-way match for one of the spots in the Elimination Chamber. So you had Selena Vega, um, who was wearing a magnificent, I should say, outfit. The way her shorts were cut, they were very cheeky. So cheeks were hanging out. If that's your cup of tea of the women wrestling, um, it is mine. I like when cheeks are out. Zelina Vega, Natalia, Shayna Baszler, and Shotzi. So those are your four. Surprisingly, it was not Shayna Baszler who won this match. It was actually Natalia. So Natalia won the right to go to the Elimination Chamber.
So you know she's not winning the Elimination Chamber.
Well, she wasn't going to win anyway, but it was weird that Shayna Baszler did not win. I just thought it was weird.
Well, she's supposed to be doing a tag team thing with Rowdy, the Rowdy one.
Right.
She, she wants to feel spicy too.
I guess so. And let's say they do win the titles. Who's going to take it off of
Liv Morgan and
them? There you
somebody else.
go. AKA someone not believable.
Yeah.
Um,
What I like is they're saying that well if you put the belts on Rousey and Baszler that'll bring some prestige to the titles. No, it won't.
it will.
No, it
I
won't.
mean, they're legit, so it
They are
brings
legit,
prestige.
but the way they'll be booked, no, and the way they do tag team wrestling, no. Especially the women's tag team. When's the last time Sky and Kai defended their belts?
I don't know, long time ago.
Yeah, it's been a win.
Have they defended them since they won it? Like since they won them back, have they even defended them? I
I
don't
don't
even
know.
know.
I legitimately can't remember.
I can't either. So that means it's been a long time.
It's been a minute. So I just don't. I mean, I don't think it's going to be a blip in the radar.
Yeah, I guess I can see what you're saying, but at least they'll have that. They'll be able to put Ronda on the card of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, she's still,
and
regardless of what you think about her, she's still one of the bigger names.
yeah, and for what it's worth, so they'll be able to put her on the card at WrestleMania, and they'll also be able to call her a champion. So
Yep.
those two things are important. Um, there was then a backstage segment with the Bloodline, so we go back to that story, and Heyman is saying that Jay's phone is going to voicemail, so he can't get a hold of him. Jimmy and Solo, they said that they can't get a hold of him.
They sit down. It looked like they never even left the room. It looked like the at the part where they got up to leave, like that's when they did the scene again, or they did the next scene.
Mm,
So in the same motion, they sat back down.
yeah. Maybe they did. Yeah, they weren't out of breath or sweating a little bit.
Right. Didn't even look worried.
Yeah. So, um, he starts to give him a lecture. It's like, do you understand that this is WrestleMania season? We need to be like at full strength. Um, and then this was the callback. You have a title match. You're defending the titles next week. And your brother's not here. Um, and Jimmy's talking about he's my brother, right? He's not gonna let me down. He'll be there. He just needs some time to cool off.
Roman's like, he's not gonna let you down, but what about the bloodline?
Yeah. So now it almost got like Roman is now starting to distrust Jimmy
Yep.
because it's like, you know, who you, it's your brother. If he aligns with you, but not me, and then you're not going to align with me, so maybe Solo's like going to be the only one left. Because Solo doesn't seem to care either way. It's like, I'm here.
Right.
Like, he showed no emotion through all of this.
Yeah, he just stared.
He's just like, I'm ready. Tell me when, tell me when I need to knock someone out, and then we'll move on.
But he did end
Uh,
up. He did apologize to Jimmy. He said, "I love you. I'm sorry for speaking to you that way." And he said, "There's catering on the bus with some sushi. I want you and Sakoa Joe to go eat. Enjoy
yeah, no,
yourselves."
I wanted to see that bus. I bet that spread was like 10 out of 10.
But only if there's California rolls.
Well, he probably Roman's probably got the good sushi, not the one with the cucumbers in it, not the little water chestnuts or whatever the fuck those things are. It's like like he picks the good sushi. He's got the real crab meat in them. The Those are good. And then so here here locally they got like the Texas um type or style rolls. Now I see they do this everywhere. Because I was out of town and I was driving through Louisiana. I see they do it there too, but they do like city styled sushi. Do you have any of that there? Like, so for instance, here they do like the Austin roll and the San Antonio roll, the Dallas roll,
Oh, like
and it's little variants of
so it'd be
the
like the
sushi
Chicago
rolls.
roll or the San
Yeah,
Francisco roll.
yeah, which
Uh,
probably has like rainbow
no.
trout on it. Oh!
Yeah. No, don't believe. I don't believe my city's special enough to get its own sushi.
I'll do yours. Oh, oh, you're missing out there. But yeah, Roman's probably got all the best sushi, no imitation.
Wait.
All
What makes a Texas roll?
um, they put like spicy stuff on it.
Oh, jalapenos.
Not jalapenos. It's like a spicy sauce.
Okay.
And I'm not a fan of spicy, so they got one. They got one with like hot Cheetos.
Ew.
Yeah, it's weird. But they put hot Cheetos on the top, like So you
Yeah,
got the sushi roll, but then on top of it you got like sprinkled hot Cheeto.
that just sounds gross.
That's the kid roll or something. Oh, you gotta put Takis on them next.
I remember every time they had a Texas burger, the only difference is they had like jalapeno peppers on them, maybe bacon.
Can't go wrong with those two things. Well, I don't like jalapenos, but you can't go wrong with bacon.
No,
Oh, I want to now. I want sushi with bacon in it. I'm, I don't even know how to get that.
make it.
Yeah, bacon wrapped shrimp in a sushi roll.
Well, there you
Ooh, wait, that's what Roman has on.
go.
He has sushi that I'm making up on the fly. But yeah, he tells him to go get the bus ready. I'm gonna go out to the ring, handle some things, and then I'll meet you back on the bus. So out comes Roman Reigns. Um,
With Paul Heyman.
yeah,
And Cole
and
mentions that Paul Heyman is the only one to come with Reigns, even though he just fucking addressed Jimmy and Sakoa Joe being told to go get sushi. It's like he had a little brain lapse there. Like, he's all alone. He's got nobody
yeah, he's
but his.
trying to prove a point and just forgot that part of it.
Yeah, I guess.
And then so Reigns makes his entrance to the course of booze, of course. There was a little bit of mixed cheers in there, but
Yeah.
mostly booze.
Uh,
Especially when he did the acknowledge me.
well, it seemed like
I
they
was expecting. Hmm.
it seemed like they were into that, but then after that, they're like, okay, we can't play along anymore.
Yeah, I was expecting when he says acknowledge me. I was expecting a you suck or fuck you Roman
Yeah,
something, but we did say the crowds,
dumb,
yeah, they don't know how to play.
dum da dum
So
dum dum.
so Roman's like, who do you guys want to talk about? Of course, that gets a Sami chant, not a Cody chant. And Roman says, I was going to talk about someone who's more deserving, but since you want to talk about the past, we can talk about Sami Zayn. He essentially says that he brought Sami Zayn up. He brought him to the island of relevancy. Sami Zayn was trying to do nothing but use him, and uh, he's going on about it a little bit. Out of nowhere comes Sami Zayn. He attacks Roman. He has his hood on,
Attacks
but
Roman from behind.
yeah, he has his hood on, so you don't know who it is at first. Well, you know who it is, but you don't know who it is at first. Put that in quotes. And then as he takes his hood off, you hear like one of the loudest pops you'll ever hear on a TV thing. And then Sami Zayn, he unzips. He has a new merch that says Sami Uso. Or, I'm sorry, Sami Zayn. But the Sami is in like the tribal bloodline text.
It's his old Sammy Uso shirt, but the Uso is duct taped over with Zayn. It's a stupid shirt. It's stupid and lazy.
Well, I thought I thought that's what they should have done, and then at least get you, I don't know, some still you get still get some mileage. Can you imagine being a fan that is a fan of the storyline enough that you went out and you bought this shirt? Oh, Sami Zayn! Like maybe buy the shirt where Sami Zayn is with the Bloodline and
The
they're sitting
island
at the
of
tables.
the island of relevancy.
Yeah, and they're all sitting at the
Yeah,
table,
they just made
or
that
you
shirt too.
or you buy a Sami Uso shirt and then a week later it's no good for you. It's like it's like wow. It's like you buy a jersey for some player and then a week later they get traded. or any really, if you buy any jersey for a player and then they get traded to another team, it's like, well, this jersey's irrelevant now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we get a white hot pop for Sammy.
And then, of course,
He,
Roman ends up beating his ass.
yes.
He asked for a chair from Paul Heyman, and he gets the chair, and as he turns around, Sammy spears him. Now, Sammy has the chair, but Roman rolls out just before Sammy was able to hit him. And then Sakoa Joe and Jimmy come from the crowd. They attack Sammy, and it's just a Sammy beat down from there. Then Roman says, "Okay, this is what you want. I'll beat you at the Elimination Chamber." And I thought that was a god awful wrestling show.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! You missed the most important part.
And what's that?
The story that's being told here.
Oh.
So Sami Zayn, he's saying he didn't want anything from Roman, but now he wants the title.
Mm-hmm. Even
But
though
not because he, not
even though
because
he attacked Roman from behind, and even though he had that advantage, Roman still beat his ass. Go ahead. He deserves a title shot.
well, he doesn't want the title because he wants the title. He wants the title because he knows that's what would hurt Roman the most.
Mm.
Different from Cody. Cody wants the title just because he wants the title. He doesn't care if it's Roman Reigns. He just wants the
He
title.
wants the title
Sami
because
Zayn,
he earned the shot at the title.
yes, but he doesn't care who's the champion. He just wants the title. Like I said, if Gunther's the champion, we're not even talking about Roman Reigns for Cody. We're talking about Gunther. Sami Zayn, on the other hand, he is wanting to hurt Roman, and he knows the way to hurt him the most is to take the titles.
But he's not gonna.
We'll see. It ain't gonna be Cody at WrestleMania, at least. Um. So yeah. So when the Bloodline gets the upper hand and they do the beatdown on Sammy, Roman Reigns said, "You you broke up my family, so I want to go on. So at Elimination Chamber, you're gonna get your title match because I want to beat you down. I want to beat your ass in front of your family, in front of your kids, in front of your friends, right? So the whole story is Roman wants to destroy him in front of his family because he destroyed Roman's family. That's the story that's getting us to Elimination Chamber. And they better do it right, or there's going to be some interesting stuff going into WrestleMania.
I don't know. All we know is that Sami Zayn's going to lose.
We do know Sami's going to lose.
Or, well,
More,
he's not going to get the titles.
oh, he's going to lose.
Well, I mean, he might win by disqualification or something.
Well, so there's kind of a back and forth going on. So people think what's going to happen is Jey Uso is going to show up at Elimination Chamber and he's going to realign himself with the Bloodline, and then that creates the Sami and Kevin Owens versus the Usos. That you know, and then that clears up Roman for Cody Rhodes to go beat him because he's going to retain the title at WrestleMania. Um, the problem with that,
You want to put some money
on the
down?
on the flip side of that,
How
hold
confident are
on,
you? Okay.
hold on, hold on, I'm not done. On the flip side, you have people who are under the impression that Jay can't go to the Elimination Chamber, real life, because of his past DUIs or something about maybe he's not allowed in Canada.
Oh, that's true. They're pretty strict on
So,
that.
right. So, yeah. You have some people that says he's going to show up, some people that says he can't show up. Uh, so we'll definitely see where that's going to go.
Yeah. Those put a little bit more intrigue on it. Or it could be Jimmy dressed up as Jay.
Well, he definitely can't go. Maybe
Oh, did he get,
Solo can go.
he got arrested too?
Well,
Oh,
Jimmy's the
Jimmy.
one that
Yeah, yeah.
most recently got arrested, but Jay got arrested years back.
Oh, okay. I thought Jimmy's the one that's been in trouble.
Yeah, but Jay did get arrested like a long time ago.
Gotcha.
But they're thinking maybe that's still, I don't know if Canada has like a statute on that, or it's like, oh nope, you never come in here. Eh?
Yeah, no, they.
No, no maple syrup for you, eh?
Jim Cornette talks about that all the time.
About them never letting him.
Yeah, he got held up at the border for a substantial amount of time because of something he did.
Wow, Canada's like straight and narrow, huh?
Yeah, they're selective on who they let in.
Like, nope. See, you did something 30 years ago, eh? I don't know why. I just want to keep saying A.
Because it's fun.
But yeah, I'll definitely see where that's all going. But yes, Roman Reigns is walking out of WrestleMania as champion.
We put money down?
We'll, we'll
How
circle
much
back
money
to
do you
that.
want to put down? How much money do you want to put down, bitch?
We'll circle back to that.
Yeah, have the courage of your conviction.
No, we're gonna circle back to it.
All
I
right.
want to see, let the story
Oh,
develop a
yeah.
little bit more.
Yeah, just so you're not that confident.
I mean, I am confident,
Not
but I'm
that
just saying,
confident.
I am. Just let the story develop a little bit more.
I want
I
you.
want to see how much how much more dick riding they're gonna do for Cody,
I want all one
to
of
the point.
you to write this down. And that one may be me. I want you to write this down that he bitched out Tyson on 2/5/2023. Bitched out on this bet.
I didn't bitch out on anything. I'm saying I want to see where this. I want to see how much more dick riding Cody gets, because it might be to the point where no, I'm confident he's walking out of WrestleMania as champion, Roman Reigns.
How much you want to bet?
We'll talk about it later.
Okay.
We'll bet though.
Okay.
I'm not gonna change my mind. I am not backing down on this. This, it's happening.
Okay.
But on that note, that's your SmackDown, that's your Raw, and we move on to NXT Vengeance Day, which was tonight, or yesterday, depending on, or 2 days ago, depending on when you're listening to this. It was Saturday. Whenever you're listening to this, it was Saturday. Or if you made it this far, and if you did, make sure to put in the comments hashtag Iron Man. We'll see if anybody made it this far. Hashtag Iron Man if you made it this far. We open up with
And if we
a.
get to 500,000 likes, I'll eat a brick. But only if this video gets to 500,000 likes. Yeah?
Well,
I'm
that's
so,
not gonna happen.
I'm social mediaing.
That's not gonna happen. You have to put it believable.
Well, I don't want to eat a brick.
Well, don't offer it.
Well, I gotta offer something.
You don't have to offer that.
Well, that's the only thing I got.
Like I just said, mine was so simple and it wasn't even financially related or any. There's no. I just said, just put this in the chat if you're still here. It's so simple.
No, you asked our audience to commit time from their lives for your silly comment game. While me, on the other hand, my stipulation is 100% my time. That's not gonna
Sure.
happen.
Well, maybe mine doesn't have it either. But hashtag Iron Man if you made it this far. You know, I just wanted to start a thing. That's the thing I'm gonna start right there. At the end, at somewhere in the end of the segments, I'm always gonna throw it in there. Hey, it's that time. Hashtag Iron Man if you're here. So there you go. I wanted to start it. There you go. I started it. I went into business for myself on that one. And oh, nope, I'm gonna keep talking about it. You know, one day this podcast is gonna get to the point where we're gonna see some hashtag Ironmans, and then it's gonna be like those people are gonna be like, you know, and we're gonna be like, look, we got Iron Man. You guys are the Iron Man if you're hashtagging Iron Man in the comments. Boy, I really went on about this, didn't I?
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm really trying to put it over. It's like it's Cody Rhodes or something.
Need a couple more video packages.
Yeah, and Pyro.
Oh God, Pyro.
But yeah, let's talk about Vengeance Day. We don't have to go into as detailed because I didn't like write down all the moves that happened.
Okay.
But we started the night with Charlotte Flair. She came out, she talked some shit because we're in Flair country. Sorry. She didn't come out. This was pre-recorded. Um, she talked about basically she ran down the card
So she was talking
and
about it being Flair country, and she potentially wasn't even in Flair country.
no, I said it's Flair country, but it is Flair
Oh,
country.
okay.
She
But she
just opened the show.
okay, but she didn't say Flair country.
No,
Okay.
I said that. That was me. And we get into our first match. We have West Lee versus Dijak, formerly known as Dominic Dijakovic, but he is now Dijak.
Oh, that's
And
better.
um, I guess he has this gimmick now where he's like Sin City. That's what it reminded me of, Sin City, with the whole black and white and uh, the text for his name was Sin City-ish.
For Dijak,
Yeah.
I'll have to go back and watch it.
Um, but yeah, this was for the North American Championship. It's a pretty good opener. It definitely set the tone for the rest of the night. Unfortunately, they couldn't keep that momentum going, but they did set the tone for a good finisher. I'm sorry, a good opener. Um, the match pretty much was about Wesley taking a beating from Dijak. He would get moves every once in a while, but for the most part, he was just getting his ass beat. And then if we move forward to the end of the match, so the end of the match saw Dijak. He puts Wesley in a chair, and then through the arms of the chair, he slides a broomstick so that Wesley is trapped in the chair, kind of like a seatbelt.
Okay.
And then he big boots Wesley, and then he's going to go up to the turnbuckle and do a moonsault onto Wesley, who's stuck in the chair. Out of nowhere, um, Tony D. Sorry, blanked on his name. Out of nowhere, Tony D'Angelo comes out and his assistant, and they push Wesley out of the way in his chair, and then they take the brunt of the moonsault. Also, apparently, in this moonsault, Dijak broke his finger, and after the moonsault, they get back in the ring, and Wesley wins off of some kind of Pele kick thing, and that was your opening match.
There you go.
Um, again, it was a good match, great opener. I was surprised that Wesley won because I thought they were gonna go Dijak. I don't know how long Wesley's been champion. They didn't mention that on commentary, and I haven't been keeping up. So, but yeah, I thought Dijak was gonna win that, but he didn't. Um, we move on to our next match. We have Kiana James and Fallon Henley versus Katana Chance and Caden Carter.
Who's Casey
This
Cantanzaro?
she's Katana Chance.
Why the fuck does it say Casey? Okay, never mind.
That's her old name. Well, that's her real name. That's her American Ninja Warrior name.
Okay, that's weird.
But yeah, they changed her name for some reason. Well, for licensing purposes, they changed it to Katana Chance. And I found it odd that they mentioned on commentary, not that they mentioned it, but that this is the stat. So they have been champion for 185 days, and they are the longest reigning women's tag team champions in NXT history. So 185 days is the longest reigning tag team champions for the women. It's very odd that they mentioned that because that means that literally means that the title's been hot potatoed.
Yeah.
Like it should at least be a year, but yeah. The, I mean, the title really is hot potatoed, and it was hot potatoed again because Kiana James and Fallon Henley won this match. The end saw a schoolgirl roll up. No, it wasn't a schoolgirl. I forgot what kind of pin it was, but it was a roll up of some sort. And from the outside, Kiana James held Kaden Carter's legs down, so she was cheating. Um, that's important to note because during this whole match, they were building up that Fallon Henley didn't want to cheat. She wanted to do things the right way, and Kiana James ended up cheating for them to win the titles. And they're also,
Is preventing them from breaking up a pin really cheating?
well, she held her down. Preventing them, no, but she held her down to get the victory.
Oh, I well, I'll have to rewatch it and see what you're talking about. I just knew all these girls look generic as fuck and nobody stood up.
Well, I guess for you, Kiana James, I think, has a lot of potential.
Okay.
I'm not too sure about Fallon Henley. She just looks like a younger Mickey James, if I'm being honest. And then you got the smoking guns out there too. They ain't helping. Maybe she's a younger Sunny because they're the smoking guns. Um,
Oh, you're talking about their girlfriends?
Yeah, those two dudes that were out
Yeah,
there
like, well, I'm so excited that you
with his mullet.
you competed in an athletic contest, and I just sat back here and cheered for you.
Yeah, with his mullet.
Yeah,
So I don't know which one's Billy Gunn and which one's going to be Bart Gunn.
the one with the mullet was Bart.
You think?
Yeah.
He seems to have more charisma than the other guy.
Oh, I don't know. I just know Bart
You
had
know,
that mustache.
I'm just saying, Bart didn't really turn out to be anything. Billy turned out to be part of DX and, you know,
Yeah.
over. I mean, one went on to box Butterbean.
Box in the loosest sense of the word.
Get knocked out by
Yeah.
Butterbean.
He was used as target practice for Butterbean. Do you remember Butterbean's little interaction with Johnny Knoxville?
No.
So they're so they're like at Goodwill or something, and they just start fighting, and there's somebody dressed up as a referee, and they have ring girls and stuff, and just like in the middle of a department store, Johnny Knoxville and Butterbean just start boxing. Well, naturally, Butterbean whoops his ass, and there's a part where Johnny doesn't even throw a punch, and even Butterbean's like, "You haven't even thrown a punch yet. Hit me, hit me." So he hits him like with the weakest fucking punch ever. He goes, "There you go," and he just knocks him out. So then Johnny comes to and he goes, "Is Butterbean okay?" It's
It's
good
like,
stuff.
yeah.
Oh, you don't need to worry about Butterbean. He's with your wife and your sister.
Yeah, she saw she won he won, so they went with him now. But yeah, so Fallon Henley, she's the smoking guns, and they win the titles. But Keanu James and Carter and Chance, I guess they're getting called up to the main roster. I don't know much about them promo wise. They looked like a tag team, so there's that much. But we'll see. There was one. uh, The match itself, it was pretty decent. There were a couple moments where they took a little long to set up their spots. So I don't know if it's because,
It's because it's women's wrestling.
well, they were also trying these unnecessary spots too.
Mm.
Like maybe we start there. Uh, but yeah, that's what I have down for that.
All right.
We move on to a 2 out of 3 falls match. Carmella Hayes and Apollo Crews. Yes, that Apollo Crews. If you don't watch NXT, um, they're in a 2 out of 3 falls match. They
Hayes came
both
out.
had.
Hayes came out
Uh,
with an Apollo Crews shirt on. And he takes it off and wipes his feet on it. That was that was neat. It's very old
yeah,
school.
and they both had special entrances. Special in a sense, like there was stuff done. Like they just didn't come out. Like Hayes came out to like the the longest reigning North American champ or the Grand Slam champ and all this
Mm.
stuff. And then Cruz, he had this video package showing him being at WrestleMania, winning the US title, winning the Intercontinental title, all his accomplishments. Um, so yeah, we start the match off. I thought it started pretty slow, but
They were actually
um,
mat wrestling,
yeah,
and obviously Cruz was the stronger one, but Hayes was the faster one, so they kind of canceled each other out at first, and then there was a spot where they finally just stopped and just smacked the piss out of each other because
Yeah, and
because
then
you
it
had
turned into
you had the Oscar comment last week, so let me join in. Like the last thing I expected was two brothers just mat wrestling. Like the I just yeah, I don't know. Like the first arm drag, you just expect one of them like, oh no, fuck that.
yeah,
I was I don't mat wrestle. I smack the piss out of people. Like Debo didn't wrestle. He just
yeah,
choked.
we fucked.
Yeah, but no, it was really good. A lot better than I thought it would be.
Yeah, so to my surprise, well, s- yeah, to my surprise, Hayes gets the first fall.
With a
He
crippler
gets it with
crossface.
a crossface. Yeah,
Which yeah, that was shocking because usually you do the submission one. That's usually the final fall.
yeah. The submission is the final fall.
And two, you don't normally see people submit these days
Right.
unless it's women's wrestling, like Charlotte.
Well, they got the submission finishers.
Right, and she should. She should have. For once, that's not a knock. Clayface should have a finishing or submissions under her belt.
Yeah. Um. So yeah. Also, the crowd was stunned that this first fall went to Carmelo Hayes off of a submission.
Right.
Um. Even more stunning, I would say, is the fact that the second fall also went to Carmelo Hayes.
Yeah, that was really convoluted how they got to that second fall too.
Yeah, it was really, really weird. Um, I I wrote I was thinking before this whole 2 out of 3 falls match. I was thinking number one, NXT has like a good history of 2 out of 3 falls matches, so they have a lot to live up to. I was thinking that, but the other thing I was thinking was it's you know you know it's going to 3 falls. It never ends on 2 falls.
Yeah.
And I was like, sometimes they could be unpredictable and have it end on 2 falls. So I'm going on this whole tangent in my head because I thought this was going to 3 falls, and then it ended at 2 falls.
There you go.
So yeah, for once, someone wins on 2 falls in a row.
Yeah, the dude with the
Um,
glittery shirt, he tried to interfere with a chair, and then some dude that looked like the Godfather came out to help Cruz, but Cruz he high fives the guy that looks like the Godfather, and then when he turns around, he gets hit with Carmelo Hayes' finisher. So then Hayes wins, and then the Godfather gets in the ring and predictably beats up Cruz. Like
there we go.
was that not the most predictable post match beatdown?
Yeah, it was. I guess to fill in the actual names, Glitter Shirt is Trick Williams,
Okay.
and then the guy in the guy who did the beatdown on Apollo Crews. Uh, I don't know his name. I know his name, but I don't know what they're going with. So, because on commentary they said Dabakato, but that was like 2 names ago for him.
Okay.
His most recent name was Commander Aziz, and he used to be before he showed up there, he used to be Apollo Cruz's muscle when he had his African accent and he was the Intercontinental Champion.
Okay.
So right before he lost his title and his accent and went back to NXT, they were on screen together and he was his muscle.
Gotcha.
So he's, I guess, in a sense, he then is also Nigerian because because he was Apollo Cruz's commander.
Huh.
So yeah. So I don't know if his name is Commander Aziz, which is most recently was,
Which that
or
doesn't
if
sound like
what they said him,
that doesn't sound Nigerian to me.
or maybe he's not Nigerian. Um, but yeah, but yeah, and then what they said on commentary was Dabakato, which was his old name
Okay.
back when he was doing Raw Underground, if anybody remembers that. But yeah, so post match he beats up Apollo Cruz, sets up I guess a feud going forward with them, and it's good for Hayes. Kind of, especially like what happened at the end of the show. It kind of seems like they're gearing him up to be the next guy in NXT. We have on April 1st, they're going to do Stand and Deliver, which is the Saturday. I want to say it's the Saturday before the WrestleMania weekend.
Hmm.
Because, they're not going to try to slip that show on the same weekend of WrestleMania. No
Right.
way. So I think it's the week before. Um, that's important to note because, we'll say that's their version of WrestleMania, the NXT version, people. And then after that, you would expect that the call ups are going to happen after WrestleMania. So all the people that are going to go up are going to go up. I say all of that because I expect Braun Breaker to be in that class of going up. So then Carmelo Hayes is going to take over as the guy for NXT.
All right then.
Well, that's all prediction. All prediction, but yeah, the pay per view is coming out before WrestleMania, and then at WrestleMania there's definitely going to be call ups.
Okay.
So those two are facts.
Yeah. Absolutely. I don't know if I'm
After
ready to
that,
see Braun Breaker on the main roster though.
well, I mean he's kind of done all he can do in NXT.
Yeah. Fair.
After that, we go into a six man, I'm sorry, a four-way tag team match for the NXT championships, tag team championships. We have the New Day, we have Chase U, we have Pretty Deadly, and we have Gallus.
Yeah. I hate the Chase U people. The motherfucker wearing the sweater and the slacks annoyed the piss out of
That's
me.
Andre Chase.
Yeah, fuck him. The dumb bitch that they were with wouldn't shut the fuck up, and you can tell that she's clearly trying to play a character, and she's not
Oh my God,
really
she
like
was
that.
yelling the whole damn match.
Yeah,
Like, golly, she was yelling. She's a ball of energy. I don't know her. I forgot her name, but yeah, she's definitely a ball of energy.
it just seemed forced to me. I don't know, but yeah, she was annoying. She had guns though. I wouldn't want to arm wrestle her. Pretty Deadly still fucking stupid. The Irish or Scottish or whatever nationality they're stereotyping team would be awesome if their outfits weren't so stupid looking. Like
Talking
seriously,
about a bulge. You see that one guy?
no, uh,
Uh, the one, the one who had the straps. I
the
think
one
it
that
was
looks like
Wolfgang.
Midian.
The one with the beard,
Okay,
the big beard,
yeah,
and the
Midian.
long hair. I'm sorry, the long hair. Oh, well, I got a little Finley out of it, but
Finley for the outfits, yeah. It looked like just generic fit Finley attire. It was, I don't know, like all their fucking attire. Like, god damn.
Well, I don't know, but there's some balls going.
All
Like
right,
what is happening?
I'll I'll take your word for
Yeah, you don't need to go look at that one.
it. Yeah, there's a spot where the Pretty Deadly they were on each other's not a, one was on the other's shoulders, and then they were doing the Scott Hall ghost finger thing, and that was stupid. They did the thing that all fucking tag team multiple men matches do, where somebody will do a move and then they'll roll out of the ring so somebody else can do their stuff, and it's distracting and doesn't look like a tag team match at all.
And then at one point, everybody's holding each other so that there can be another big spot.
Right. And the stereotypes won, which I wasn't expecting. I thought Pretty Deadly was going to win.
Um, I knew Pretty Deadly wasn't going to win because they've already won it twice.
Okay.
Um, I thought actually Chase U was going to win because they kept talking about how it's a homecoming from him for them.
Mm.
But yeah, the chick, she was yelling nonstop. It was a
Yeah.
little distracting, and I wish I could have not heard her.
She was awful.
Um, I was sports entertained by Chase U. He did they both so they did the whole stomps where he's like, "Give me a C, give me an H, give me an A."
Yeah, that was
That
retarded.
was some sports entertainment stuff. There was another moment where Duke Hudson, the bigger one in Chase U, he did oh he did the kip up, but he held the ropes.
Yeah. For some reason, I thought he was going to kip up, and then, yeah, he rolled to the ropes, and I don't know if I like that or not. I haven't.
Yeah, he did the rope assisted kip up.
That's borderline for me.
Uh, yeah, he did something else where he like, but yeah, it was all like sports entertainment. Uh, but yeah, this was a freaking chaotic match. At one point, I just like put the notes down. I was like, yeah, I
Yeah,
got no shot in keeping up with what's going on here. I don't even know who's legal anymore.
they didn't. They didn't even pay attention. They kept doing blind tag. Like nobody does like a proper tag anymore. It's always that blind tag shit.
Yeah, and Gallus wins.
Yeah,
And were they even legal? I couldn't tell you.
couldn't tell you. Yeah,
Uh, but I think that young upstart team, the New Day, is probably gonna get called back up. I'm sorry, get called up to the main roster. So there is that.
they can go back to being regular fish now.
I mean, they've already been on SmackDown, so
Oh, yeah,
I mean, they were just in that Judgment Day segment.
yeah, but they're not gonna. I don't know. I don't see them holding the belts anytime soon.
Oh,
So they're
they're not.
just gonna go back to being nobodies.
Oh, I did want to point out in this match, um, the guy on commentary said that Kofi Kingston is the longest reigning black heavyweight champion. But I swear on Friday Night SmackDown, or I'm sorry, not on Friday Night SmackDown. I swear on Monday I saw that same stat about Bianca Belair. So they need to get their facts straight on that.
Doesn't doesn't matter.
Yeah, I
Okay.
guess.
Okay.
I mean, not in the grand scheme of things. I would say it's probably just better to say the longest reigning champion, regardless of color. But they threw it out there,
If you're going to say
and
it be factually accurate, is that where you're going with it?
well, yeah.
Okay.
I'm just saying
I got you.
they threw that out there, but I just saw the same stat about Bianca Belair, so I mean, maybe to myself, I was wondering, well, which one is which one is it? Because
Well, could it be that she's just the longest reigning women's champion? Black women's champion? And Kofi's the longest reigning.
yeah,
How
I
long
guess.
did The Rock have it? Isn't.
Well, that's another that's another story.
Okay.
You know, on whether or not he's in the game.
He claims it.
You know,
He claims it when
he
it's
claims
convenient for him.
he claims it, but the WWE doesn't claim it.
Much like all the halfies, they always
They only
claim
want
that.
it.
Yeah,
They only want it when it can get them ahead.
exactly. Like I noticed
Like,
Patrick Mahomes, he don't claim that other side.
well, he doesn't claim it, but the other side. Well, I guess.
Oh, we'd happily take him. Don't.
Yeah, he's in the middle there.
Yeah, but you only hear about the one, and it's just really interesting.
Yeah,
Not that it matters.
I guess that's the advantage. You get to claim both sides, and they'll both accept you. Wasn't that from The Simpsons?
I don't know.
I'll get to be a mixed race, and they'll both accept me.
that doesn't sound. That doesn't sound like Simpsons.
Maybe it was like South Park or something.
Yeah, that sounds like South Park or Family Guy.
We move on to a women's title match. Roxanne Perez versus Gigi Dolan versus JC Jane. Um, so Gigi Dolan and JC Jane are Toxic Attraction minus Mandy Rose. So they're essentially a tag team. So this was coming out as if they were a. Uh, I'm sorry, this was making up as if it were essentially a handicap match.
Right.
Now,
Apparently, that's what the
that being
promos
said,
were all for. It's gonna be 2-on-1, Roxy.
yeah, that being said, if it were a handicap match, you would think at any point they would have like knocked Roxanne Perez out of the ring and then just one pin the other, you know? But they never talked about that. Like, oh, okay, let's get her out of the way. You pin me, and then, you know, then I get a title match at the next thing or something.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But
I
they didn't
think
do that.
I guess you can argue that there wasn't enough trust between the two for them to work that out.
I guess so.
But what you say makes sense too.
Yeah, I guess I could do that. Um,
So
and
the
they ended up imploding, so
yeah,
there's that too.
so the redhead needs to do some P90X because she has no definition whatsoever. I noticed that Perez is barely taller than the barricade. I noticed that Perez does a suicide dive through the bottom rope. Uh, the redhead and the other one, they make too many stupid goddamn faces. I don't know what the fuck they're trying to do. If Becky Lynch and Paige, or excuse me, if Becky Lynch fucked Paige with her big gigantic cock, Gigi Dolan would be their love child. Gigi and Lacey predictably start fighting, even though they both are well in control of Perez. Um, I thought it was a joke that Perez can hold her own against both of those girls, let alone one of them. And Perez can't keep up. And I heard the I heard the name Super Pop Rocks, and then I just went on to do other things.
Okay.
I hated every second of it.
I see.
This little tiny bitch comes out. She's not even. She can barely look over the top rope. And throughout the whole match, she's taking it to both of these women. Fuck that shit. Just a little tiny thing. No. And she
Um,
sucked. She was awful. She's shades of Alexa Bliss. That slow fucking taking forever to get to where you need to go. Just to do something simple. It wasn't fluid. And did I mention she can barely look over the top rope?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Uh,
What?
there you go. Now you got it in there.
All right.
Well, actually in agreement with some stuff. Roxanne Perez. I didn't care too much for this match. It seemed like they were just all out of sync. uh, Essentially, I said, they should just throw one out of the ring and pin the other. But essentially, this is a handicap match. Why is it taking them so long to beat her? Uh, they were building Roxanne up so much, you would think Bret Hart was back and wrestling that match. Oh, she's the prodigy. She's the future of this business. Like, golly. And her moves are soft.
Yes.
She needs to get rid of Pop Rocks. I don't know, like, if that Pop Rocks is supposed to be a code red, but it looked both
Super
times.
Pop
Well,
Rocks.
okay. So the Pop Rocks is her finisher. It's a code red.
Oh.
When she did it on the outside, it looked more like a sunset flip. The Super Pop Rocks was the fact that she did it off
Oh,
the
okay.
second
I got you.
turnbuckle.
Either way, it was fucking
Um,
retarded. Like, if you're gonna do that, why would you name it That's just like Sparkle Splash. Come on. Do these people not have any fucking self-respect?
well, they are. It
Think
is
about it.
for
Think
girls.
about it. You got finishers called the sharpshooter, the DDT, the spear, the jackhammer.
Well, I'm saying it is for a girl, so you know, it
I
wouldn't be
guess.
that surprising that she has a girly finisher name.
I guess it's just dumb.
Um, but yeah, that's really all I got out of that match was they're they're trying so hard with Roxanne,
Well, Gigi
and I
needs
just
to
don't see it.
fucking. She needs to get on a stairmaster or something. She's got like no definition. She looks like a.
Well, you are way off on that one.
I
I'll
am
tell
not way
you,
off.
she's got so much definition.
She's fucking.
Wait, what kind of definition are you talking about?
She's chubby. She like her curves are almost not there.
What
She
curves? That's what I'm talking about. What curves? Are you
exactly
talking about above the waist or below the waist?
all of it. To
Oh.
me, she looks like a female that hasn't hit hasn't hit puberty yet.
Well, I can show you some. I can show
Maybe
you her
it might be
definition,
the outfit.
and it's in her cheeks of her ass.
But she reminds me a lot of Paige, where she's just pudgy and just not curvy or feminine at all.
Well, I'm gonna have to. I'll send you something
That's
later.
fine. Like I said,
I'll show you some definition.
I could be wrong. It could be the outfit. It could be just how I was watching the match.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about her up top. I'm just talking about below the waist. She's got one of the fattest asses in the company.
Okay.
Like, yeah. Well, just remind me about that.
All right.
I don't want to sit here and objectify her,
You already
but I'm
kind of
just
did.
saying. I'm just saying it's it's one of the I don't know on the main roster of a fatter one,
Belair's got
but
one.
yeah, I'm saying she puts Belair. She gives Belair a run for her money.
No fucking way.
Yes,
We're talking about the one with the fake orange red hair, right? The ugly one.
yes,
Okay.
yes. She gives Belair a run for her money.
All right.
um, but yeah, I didn't care too much for this match. Outside of that part, just just cool it with the Roxanne stuff, guys. Like, if she's gonna get there, let her get there. But you don't gotta force feed it down our throat. That's oh, she's the prodigy. She's the future.
Well, let her.
She's been doing this since she's 7.
Yeah.
Who? Whatever person in the world do you know that's been doing this since she was 7?
She
Well, I
started
don't know.
walking and then she did a clothesline.
Yeah, she's been. She threw a super kick when she was. The doctor spanked her and she threw a super kick.
She went from walking to diving through that bottom rope like a champ.
Yeah, like
I've
golly.
I've never seen somebody dive through the bottom rope like that.
Women do. Well, not only the women, but Ray does it too.
Really?
Well,
I've
not
never.
all the time.
I've seen him go through the middle rope. I've seen him go over the top rope. I've never seen him go through the bottom. I've seen him slide through the bottom rope.
Yeah, he's done it a couple times, but
Okay.
for him, it's more so because he's doing like a move from it, like a sunset flip or something.
Okay. It's just, yeah, I don't like any of it.
Well, we move on to our main event. Braun Breaker. I'm not going to do the thing.
Good deal.
Braun Breaker versus Grayson Waller in a steel cage match for the NXT title. I I don't know how I felt about this match.
I had a hard time getting
I
into it.
guess I did too. And I guess I kind of did give you my feelings about the match when I said I was kind of surprised that Braun Breaker walked out as champion.
You thought he was going
But
to lose?
I thought he was going to lose.
Okay.
But that was also before they said that there was going to be a pay-per-view before WrestleMania.
Mm.
Because I thought Braun Breaker was going to lose, and then he was going to
Called up.
you know, get his call up ready. And I thought Grayson Waller would be, the guy that could make NXT interesting with his title run. Not saying it's not interesting now. I'm just saying, he could keep he could take the ball and roll with it because of what he can do on the mic.
Yeah, I think
Um,
Braun Breaker is kind of boring.
if you wanted to make the comparison, way, 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 way down comparison, like talking about like you got like the the real version at I don't know Amazon, but then you go get I'm not saying Wish because it's but like Dollar Tree version, but he could be the Dollar Tree version of MJF for them.
Is that good at talking?
Well, I'm saying the Dollar Tree version, like
Well, no, I'm saying
you would
is he
have
that good
to.
at talking?
Um, actually, I haven't heard.
So how do you know if he can be the anything?
Well, because they were talking about how brash and you know, stuff he is. Like
They were comparing him to Dolph Ziggler.
they're talking about how much of a punk he is, I guess.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. He could be, working within the very PG WWE version of MJF.
Well, you gotta see if he can
So
talk
you
first.
guys are all stupid heads.
Gee golly, guys, that really gets my goat.
Yeah, like
I'm gonna have to challenge you to fisticuffs.
yeah. Instead of calling someone a fat slob, he's like, "Oh, you
Please don't have sex with my wife.
like you wanna talk about it, you fat slob." That would be MJF, and then he's
Yeah.
like, "You wanna talk about it, you guy who's probably eaten one too many pieces of food and probably need to cut it back." And yeah, you won't be calling anybody skanks or
The
any
waistband
of that.
challenged.
Yeah, oh, that would be a good one. You want to test the? You're testing the threads on that shirt that you're wearing.
Like, what do they call graping now? Consent accidents.
Miscommunications.
Had a consent accident or consent mistake or
It was a gray area on that
yeah,
consent.
because that sounds.
A gray area. Was there consent? Depends on who you ask. Not that, not that I'm sitting here making, light of that kind of thing, but
Right.
that kind of word salad is funny.
It is. Um, so Grayson won, or I'm sorry, Braun won.
Indeed, he did.
I
Braun
thought
Breaker won.
I thought it was weird that you couldn't win by escaping the cage. You don't see
I
that too
almost
often.
said, yeah, you couldn't win by escaping. You can only win by pin or submission. So couldn't it have just been like a no DQ match or something? Why did they even need the cage if you couldn't? The cage really did nothing.
Right. It was something to be thrown into.
Yeah,
That's
and
about
there,
it. And
and
nobody
they had
was
that moment.
nobody was trying to get into the ring.
Yeah, they did have the moment where they teased that he was gonna, Grayson Waller was gonna jump off the cage, but out, and then he got suplexed. But outside of that, the cage didn't really play a part, so I don't know. I
No.
was there.
Yeah, it was just window dressing. And then at the end of the match, Carmelo Hayes came to do a little meaningful stare down with, or not a stare down, but the entryway stare down with Braun.
Yeah, to basically say he's next.
Yeah.
So, um, like I said earlier, I think Carmelo Hayes will definitely win if they do this at the pay-per-view. If it's on TV, he's not gonna win.
Well,
Uh,
you're assuming that Braun wants to go to the main roster.
well,
Some of them
I
like to
don't
be in
think he has a
NXT.
choice.
Well, that's true.
Although his chick is in NXT, so there's that. But they can get over that.
Yeah, we'll figure that out.
But oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say that's the week in wrestling.
Definitely ups and downs there. Overall, I would say to give my overall thing on NXT, I'd call it like middle of the road. Um, but the question I asked was, did we prove that the future of WWE is in good hands,
Oh boy. No.
and I will say there's definitely maybe there's some people on TV that we don't know yet.
Yeah. I mean,
Like,
Braun Breaker, I, I don't see him being like a main event guy right now. He's got a
well,
good
he's not
look.
gonna be right now.
Well, no, because there was guys in NXT that you like. Oh man, I could see like Finn Balor, um, Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens was one
I thought Shinsuke Nakamura was gonna be one.
who should have been one, but you know how that goes. Tommaso Ciampa should have been one.
Yeah.
So I mean, they've had people that like if they weren't immediately in the world title picture, you could see them kind of hanging with the main guys. But here, I mean, I don't see Braun Breaker having a competitive match with Sakoa Joe.
Hmm, I guess I could. I could see that.
Or Bobby Lashley
Um,
versus Braun Breaker.
well, I don't know if I don't know where he is height wise. Um, I'm trying to think of like, do I remember him? He was on Raw a few before SummerSlam, I believe, and he had a stare down with someone, but I don't remember him where he is height wise. Like if he's just on the smaller side or if he's taller, which does make a difference.
He doesn't seem to be that big. But then again, neither was Rick. They were just ass kickers.
Yeah, his dog face gremlin. So I guess we'll see. They definitely need to bring in. Definitely need more star power.
He's allegedly 6 feet.
Ooh, that ain't good.
Although Rick was 5'11".
It's Rick's fault. You see, if he was, if it was Scott Steiner, we
He'd be
would be having a different conversation now.
Scott Steiner 6'1".
Yeah, see, much better. That inch, those inches make a difference.
Yeah, I know that firsthand.
There you go. I threw that softball up for you there.
And I took it. Sure as shit took it.
And on that note, let's go over some light news and rumors
All right.
that we saw come across our news feeds. So we talked about Cody Rhodes. Um, he's going to be wrestling Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. He is kind of teasing that he would be bringing, once he wins the title, of course, but he's not going to, that he would be bringing back the Winged Eagle title. So like the early 90s version of the title.
How awesome would that be?
It would definitely be awesome, especially if they put like a modern spin on it.
Well, they almost have to. Can't dig up the old one. Hulk Hogan
Yeah.
can't reach it.
Yeah, if they modernized it, I could definitely I'd be into it. When he came back and won the Intercontinental title, he did like that reimagined white Intercontinental title. I really like that one too.
Yeah.
So he does have a good taste in titles. Although unfortunately, we're gonna have to wait on it because he's not beating Roman Reigns yet.
I think anything would be better than what they currently have. I never thought there would be a title that I liked least than or less than that spinner belt, but the current ones are just atrocious. They all look the same,
Well,
aside from
good.
aside from the women's championship belts. Like they all look the same, and it's just I don't know.
Well, I got an interesting question for you here. Winged Eagle or uh, Big Gold from WCW? Which one did you like better?
Winged Eagle,
Hmm,
and the reason why is because there's a little bit more contrasting color in the faceplate. Like the big gold belt was obviously just big and gold.
okay. I
Now
like the Big Gold.
I
Like,
do like the big gold where you can see like the red little gems in it.
uh,
But and I did like when they had the NWO face paint on it forever. But if we're going like just standalone title, I think the Wing Eagle.
okay. I want to go Big Gold.
Yeah. Now I
I
will
just
say
like,
AEW's belt is nicer than WWE's.
well, yeah. The WWE's just looks like the. It was just look like they were trying to sell toys,
I'm
and then
sure.
it's like, hey, wrestlers,
Oh,
carry around these toys
oh yeah, one of you
so
needs
that
this.
so we can put them on shelves and sell millions of them.
Yeah.
Speaking of toys,
Oh boy.
so apparently, come WrestleMania, we will be getting another match that is a gimmick match. This one will include Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Oh yeah.
So they're going to be doing like a Cinnamon Toast Crunch branded WrestleMania match.
Yeah.
Kind
They
of
want.
like they did with the Mountain Dew match.
Yep. They want Bray Wyatt to wrestle in a bowl of cereal with cinnamon
Whoa,
coming
whoa,
down
whoa. It's not going
with
to be Bray
with
Wyatt.
cinnamon coming down from the rafters, and he's going to have his cum hunting lights just all over the place. It's going to be great.
It's not going to be Bray Wyatt. He's not going to be anywhere near this match.
Oh, this is the match that he stays away from?
Well, I'm just saying, he's already got the. It's not about him being in the gimmick. It's just about that they're going to do a gimmick.
They loved.
I don't even know. Good.
I was. I don't know. I forgot what I was going to say. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I don't even know if it's actually going to be. Well, I guess it is going to be a gimmick match. But I don't know what gimmick. I was thinking about it. Like, what gimmick could they possibly do that ties it into a wrestling match? Are they going to be wrestling in a bowl of milk?
Well, what did the pitch black match do that tied into Mountain Dew?
It was black, with the black light.
Okay. Well
But it
then,
was a wrestling match. Like,
Kurt Angle can spray him with milk for the whole match.
or, they're going to wrestle in a bowl of milk
Yeah.
or something.
When,
Um,
and when Bray Wyatt calls Uncle Howdy to get the spoon.
it's not going to be Uncle Howdy or Bray Wyatt.
Oh yeah, this is right up his alley. Oh, let me get my art. I'm an
It's not.
artist.
It's not
Some people don't
supposed to be.
understand how outside the box I am. You either get it or you don't. I'm so creative in everything I do. I'm
Uh,
gonna wrestle in a bowl of cereal.
well, I also saw on the notes of that because it's relevant. I also saw this story that Nick Khan wants to like put sponsors on the turnbuckles.
Like boxing?
Yeah,
I mean,
I, it's better than a whole gimmicked match. I will say
Yeah, I'd
that.
rather have that than fucking see cum hunting lights and cinnamon toast crunch.
Well, apparently the number came out and they made like some X, they like made like X million from that cum match. So come away for them if they're making millions off of it.
X $1 million from Mountain Dew.
Yeah, from that sponsored match.
That's stupid. God, that's stupid.
So,
So
you know, it didn't
they're willing
discourage
to
them.
pay hefty prices for their souls.
Yeah, it didn't discourage them from.
Right. Which is funny
But
because
yeah, so we're good.
the reaction to the match itself was kind of mixed. I don't give a fuck about that.
Well, no one really talked about the, except for us, the actual blacklight part of it.
Yeah, they
Everybody just
did.
talked about like
How stupid it was with that and the botch at the end.
it was dark. You couldn't see the botch.
Yes, you could. There's there's plenty of videos of people like going, "What the fuck was that? Oh, you missed him there."
He did.
Oh yeah.
Well, I think he got him.
Well, he
Uh,
didn't.
I've started. I've thought about that match too, and I've started to come around on it.
What do you mean?
I think it was a good match.
Well, then you're crazy.
I've turned the corner.
Then I don't.
Like, if I break it down, okay, Bray Wyatt, that was his first match back. He he pretty much squashed LA Knight, so he looked strong. And then post match, LA Knight was beating him with the kendo stick, and he was no sell. He was, you know, he was no selling it, and he kept walking forward, so he looked like a monster. So he looked strong. He looked like a monster, and then he attacked LA Knight, and then Uncle Howdy did his thing. So everything, like, if you break it down, everything that should have happened happened.
I've seen this piece of shit wrestle in mood lighting. I've seen this piece of shit wrestle where bugs and cockroaches are on the fucking ring. I've seen this motherfucker do a Firefly Funhouse. I've seen this motherfucker do an Inferno match where he gets lit on fire. I've seen um, that stupid match he had with Cena at WrestleMania.
Great match,
This
Firefly Funhouse
motherfucker,
match.
this motherfucker came back in October, did nothing but flap his gums, build anticipation, and then what we got for it was a Mountain Dew sponsored match where he wrestles LA Knight, destroys him in the process, and cum searching lights. It was awful. Bray Wyatt wants to be a fucking movie horror monster. He doesn't want to be a wrestler.
No, he just sees a different
He
version of
doesn't see
wrestling.
shit. He
Hey,
sees his
hey,
ass.
you worry about your you worry about your wrestling. I worry about my sports entertainment. We're talking sports entertainment over
There's
here.
nothing entertaining about it, and there was nothing
For
sports
you,
about it.
you
It
know
was
that
objectively bad.
you know he got the one of the higher ratings outside of Sami Zayn.
From who?
His clips.
Whose clips?
Bray Wyatt's,
Whose clips?
Bray Wyatt's.
I'm saying who posted the clip?
Oh, the WWE channel. You see, I've
Oh,
been going back and looking at the clip, the view counts.
oh. Well, of course
I've been
there's going to be
going.
a lot of views. He had a lot of anticipation in his match, and a lot of
Well,
people were saying how stupid his fucking cum hunting like match was. That's not surprising that it would have a lot of intrigue.
well,
But
I'm just saying. I'm looking at
now we
the.
see what this motherfucker's like without Vince McMahon, and Vince McMahon made the right call. Triple H made a mistake, and
Vince
it
McMahon made the
floors
right
me.
call.
It floors me that Triple H would fucking sour on carrying Cross before this fat fuck.
Yeah, Vince McMahon made the wrong call, or he made the right call selling his number one merchandise seller. Yeah, who needs merchandise? Everybody wants bangers instead of, actual dollar signs.
This is the number one merchandise seller.
He was when he got fired.
You know, he also sucks.
He probably, I've, I don't have the numbers right now, but I bet you he's at the top,
I'm pretty sure
near the top.
Punk was up there in the merchandise stuff too when they let him walk.
So you saying they don't care about merchandise? Oh, that's,
I think
I
I
mean, when you're
think
selling,
I think
when
when
you're
the
selling your wrestling match.
I think when the talent fucking sucks, they could give a shit less of how much merchandise they send.
Well,
Look at Daniel Bryan.
when you're selling your wrestling matches to do cinnamon toast crunch ads, you don't need merchandise because you can just do that.
Nope, there you go. And more importantly, you don't need fucking Bray Wyatt.
Well, yeah, you don't need him.
Nobody
You just
needs
let
him.
him.
Nobody
You just
needs his
let him
shit.
tell a story.
Let him go fucking star in The Walking Dead like he wants to. Go be in a fucking Dust Till Dawn Part 8. Stay away from the WWE. He doesn't know what he's doing. And it's a shame because he's got IRS and the Wyndhams, and none of that has rubbed off on him. Absolutely none.
Oh, there you go. I guess it's safe to say you'll be skipping his segments from now on. Don't worry, I got you guys. As a matter of fact, you will be skipping his segments. You get no more Bray Wyatt. You're
Oh
out.
no. No.
I'm telling you, you don't even
Oh
get to make the choice.
no. Don't, please.
You're out. No more
I
Bray Wyatt for you.
I haven't felt this bad since you told me I couldn't watch AEW. No.
Good. I'm glad you remember that.
I'm I'm so devastated that I can't watch a shitty product.
Yes. So you're out. You're out. No more Bray Wyatt.
I'll try to find the strength to move on. Fat fuck.
But as we do move on,
No, somebody
um,
he got into his head like way back when he was wrestling the Undertaker and he was the Eater of Worlds, and then he started migrating to that spooky shit. Somebody told him, somebody that he respects told him that he was going to be the next Undertaker, and that motherfucker's not let that go.
I believe it was the Undertaker who told him that.
Well, the Undertaker's full of shit. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about.
Well, actually, no, it wasn't the Undertaker. The Undertaker said he was I don't know, something about him being special or something like that.
Yeah, he's
Told
special
Vince to
ed.
protect him. Told Vince to protect him. He's going to be a big deal or
Oh
something
no,
to that effect. I don't know about who called him the next Undertaker.
the fan or the dirt sheets and shit. Like, oh, he's poised to be the next Undertaker. He's going to break the streak. Blah 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 blah. Then when he didn't, he still continued to do the spooky shit, and then eventually he evolved into the Fiend. He's just in his head. I'm gonna go and be the next Undertaker, so I gotta be this supernatural. Blah 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 blah. Nobody's ever done this before. I'm gonna go fuck a goat in the ring. Nobody's ever done that before. Hunter,
And
get
we're
my
going to be
cum
over here.
searching lights and a goat. I'll put on a 5-star match.
And we're going to be over here sports entertained
You will
and then
be.
love every minute of it.
If
No, I'm saying we as in
you
us.
like the goat fucking. Goat fucking gets you. I got you.
I don't know where it got to that. where you made
Because
that
he said in an
connection.
interview, like, I only like to
No,
do things that. Wait, what?
go ahead.
He said, I only like to do things that have been done before. If it hasn't been done, I'll do it. So I can only infer that because nobody else has fucked a goat in the middle of a ring, the Bray Wyatt will be the first one to do it because it hasn't been done before. And he's got to get his art and his vision out there. So
Well,
everybody can see how much of an artist he is.
I can say that would be something to watch.
I don't want to watch
Not
anybody
that I
fuck
want
a
to,
goat.
not that I want to watch it, but I'm just saying it would be something. It would definitely be something to talk about, I'm sure. Like, or maybe you don't even talk about it, and whoever sees you see it, you can't even make eye contact with them for a few days. But it would definitely be a moment.
If you say so.
But yeah, we have another on on the side of all that. We have another cinnamon toast crunch gimmick sponsored match planned. Something that is also planned is Cena versus Theory. We've kind of already talked about that. We're also possibly looking at Edge versus Finn Balor in a Hell in a Cell match.
Well, it's clear that we're getting there. When it's going to be is still up in the air.
Yeah. And see, this is something that actually calls for a Hell in a Cell. And they're doing it, and it's not at a pay-per-view that's just because it's in October.
True.
Like, they're bringing a Hell in a Cell match.
And we
That
won't
makes
see four
sense.
other Hell in a
And
Cell matches before it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know if we kind of touched on it earlier, but along the matches that are kind of being talked about, or um, Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler are set to win the championships, the tag championships at WrestleMania, which means then they would have their tag match at WrestleMania against, right now it'd be Damage Control. Uh, we kind of already touched on that. That's kind of, those titles are just kind of worthless.
Yep.
So
Sure.
there's that. But the good part to take out of it is that um, Damage Control will get a WrestleMania moment. Throw in there that Gunther, there's rumors that Gunther's going to be facing Sheamus and Drew McIntyre in a triple threat match.
WWE's thrown that's on the table for them as an idea, which
Yeah,
I hope that doesn't
which
come to
doesn't sound,
fruition.
yeah, it doesn't sound like a good idea at all.
No.
But Gunther himself, he teased his face off against Brock Lesnar. So he himself is teasing a Brock Lesnar match when they're over here talking about Sheamus and Drew McIntyre. I think I would clearly rather see the Brock Lesnar match.
Of course.
Um, the only the only problem in that is the whole Bobby Lashley thing.
Right.
So because Brock Lesnar's kind of building towards a feud with Bobby Lashley.
That's true.
Um, maybe they resolve that before WrestleMania somehow.
Well, it won't be at
Like,
Elimination Chamber.
well, it could be because Lashley's not in the match
Oh, I thought he
yet.
was.
No, I don't think he's in there yet.
Oh, no. He's wrestling Theory next week. Isn't he?
Yeah, so there's
Okay.
Yeah, there's a chance that he's not in the Elimination Chamber match. So then that frees him up to be able to face Brock Lesnar one on one.
If Brock Lesnar's available. You know, he's a part timer.
Well, it's WrestleMania season.
Got
They
to work
were
on Brock's schedule.
yeah, it's WrestleMania season. They get the checkbook out for that, and thus he Brock shows up when the money's right,
Are
and
they
the
gonna
money is right.
get the check out for Elimination Chamber though?
Well, you got the hottest story in WWE right now going on that show. That would be the Sami Zayn Roman Reigns thing. So it's already a big show just based off of that.
Mm.
This, and it's the last step before you could essentially tie Elimination Chamber into the road to WrestleMania. So yes, I could see. No, I'm not saying that they will have the match. I'm just saying that they could do it there, and then that frees you up for Lashley versus Gunther. That's all I'm saying there. Like that's how you connect the bridge.
Or they do a
I mean,
triple
it could
threat
be
match
cool.
with Lashley, Gunther, and Lesnar.
They could do that. That's that's a lot of meat in the ring.
There it is. That's my lead. I
uh,
mean, I wouldn't want to see that.
yeah, you'd rather see it do a one-on-one match, but if we can if we're gonna be bridging Sami Zayn into a tag title match at WrestleMania, we could definitely bridge Brock Lesnar into a one-on-one match against Gunther.
Yeah,
Like, come on, we could do that.
easily. Logan Paul and fucking Seth Rollins.
Yeah, that's another. We talked about that. That's teased. I guess they're also teasing towards a Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio match one on one.
Yeah, I hear that from. I seem to remember Ray saying that he wants his last match to be against Dominic.
Oh, well, there you
So,
go.
so I don't know if that's actually going to happen. Like if they do wrestle at WrestleMania, if that will indeed be Ray's last match. But I do seem to remember that being the goal.
Yeah, and I find it like take out of the whole match part of it, like whether take out what you think about Dominic versus Ray as a match. It's cool that you could potentially see a dad versus a son in a wrestling match. I don't remember that ever happening.
Ric Flair, Rick and David.
Did it happen?
I think so.
I remember them being on screen together, but I don't remember them ever fighting.
I'm pretty sure that David went with Daphne and became a heel.
When they did the match.
Yeah.
Of course, Ric Flair would have would have already done it. Wrestling is millions.
Uh, I think Vince has wrestled Shane too.
Okay, that's yeah. Okay.
I know.
Anyway,
I
it
know
was still
Stephanie has wrestled Vince.
yeah. Well, they haven't had a. Would you call that a wrestling match?
I mean,
I don't think they ever like. I mean, they didn't lock up or anything. It was just
he hit her from behind, and it was basically a hardcore match. I can't remember what
yeah. He
happened.
cheap shot at his own daughter,
Yeah,
so that was that.
it's great.
Like you gotta be.
Well, he also made out with Trish Stratus in front of his catatonic wife. He brought Linda out just to make make out in front of her with Trish. I wonder if Trish is on the
Yeah,
payroll.
yeah. When she was in the yeah, I did just want to say while we're talking about Vince, uh, I saw these reports that he's like getting sued again or something. Um, and then I also saw reports that Vince is planning on stepping down should they sell the WWE and they want him to step down.
Yeah.
Like I saw those two stories. So basically, you have the dirt sheet, and I put that in quotes, the dirt sheet people still talking about Vince leaving the company. And to that, I just had this thought that I wanted to say is when are they going to realize that he's Vince McMahon, from what we've been able to deduce here, is he's going to be one of those guys like Hector Salamanca in Breaking Bad, who's having to push the bell to communicate, and he's going to be one of those guys still working there.
Yeah.
Like he ain't going nowhere.
Nope.
Like I'm rewatching yeah, I'm rewatching Better Call Saul, and they're like, so I just saw, you know, how he got his bell and how he got paralyzed,
That's good stuff. It's
and
Nacho.
it's like, oh man, only you, Don Hector, can come back from this.
I just
Like still,
appreciate that Gus wanted him to suffer.
oh yeah, he let him. He's like, oh, we'll get him fixed, and he's like,
Nah,
uh, he
he's
can
good enough.
yeah, he can fully recover. Nope, stop right there.
Yeah.
Like this is as far as he gets to recuperate. This is, yeah. um, but yeah, so those are all of the latest WrestleMania notes there. Uh, Turning out to be a pretty decent looking card, if I'm being honest. We just gotta get Sami Zayn in the right spot, and then it'll be the best card it could be. Just kidding. I'm off. I'm off of it. Sami Zayn does not need WrestleMania because Roman Reigns is walking out of WrestleMania champion.
Well, it's easy to
Yeah.
say that now because he's definitely not getting the WrestleMania spot because he's not worthy.
I mean, he could still get it,
They couldn't.
but he doesn't need it because Roman's not losing.
He's not worthy.
So, so who you
The
putting in there for
the
Roman?
WWE brass said, you know what? We had two last minute cancellations after we threw a whole bunch of money at people. Who are we gonna get? Cody Rhodes.
Well, and that speaking of that, while you bring that up, that is also one of the reasons why Roman Reigns is walking out as champion. They had option one was Roman. Option two was Stone Cold. Maybe you can flop that. Stone Cold was option one. Rock was option two. Whichever way you put it. Those were the first two options, and then they settled on Cody Rhodes. Definitely, 100% in the first two options, Roman Reigns was walking out as champion. The Rock wasn't going to beat him. Stone Cold wasn't going to beat him. So you got option three now, Cody Rhodes,
Who is somebody that they want to put the title on.
but they're not going to do it now.
We'll see.
They're going to do it after WrestleMania. I'm not betting that it'll happen at SummerSlam. All I'm saying is Roman Reigns will get to the 1,000 day mark, which um, unfortunately I lost it. I did have it written down. I think it's May 7th. It'll be I know I'm a nerd, But
Yeah.
I think I think May 7th he'll have reached his 1,000 days. So whatever pay-per-view happens after May 7th, that's where we can look to start to see him get the titles off of him. So, uh,
Or Cody Rhodes just beats him on WrestleMania.
so yeah, really, I mean, Money in the Bank would be the next closest. I'm gonna guess Money in the Bank would be the next closest pay-per-view after that. Maybe there's one sprinkled in, but I don't know. If you agree with anything, let us know in the comments. If you disagree with anything, let us know in the comments. Let us know where you stand on the Cody Rhodes debate. And till next time, Top Guys out.